We are live. Welcome to News and Nonsense at Noon. I'm Auntie AK, aka Kizzle, aka the auntie of all the aunties in the land, and I'm here with.
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
Our Auntie Farrah is not feeling too good today, so she's taken a rest. So sending her love and well wishes and get better, get better, get better. But this is News and Nonsense. And why does it exist? Because the world is literally in the handbasket that is going to hell in with depths and depths and depths. I believe this is hell on earth. I believe. I'm sure there's somewhere else there's a cornucopia of delights, but we're not living there at the moment because the world is crazy. Anyway, so we're digging through all the news and nonsense, and we're here to give you our take on it. We're here to help you separate the wheat from the chaff, the sap from the crap, what you need to know from what you don't need to know. But before we get into all of that, what do they need to do, Nana?
Guys, you need to book the like button on entry. Please do it now if you haven't already. You need to also share the video with like-minded people so that there's more people in the chat as well. And you can also sign up to our YouTube membership. I will put the link in the chat in a second. Please do that. It is actually, the prices have changed. I forgot when I did it. It's $5.99 and $2.99 now. Yes.
Golly, that is still cheap.
$2.99, cheaper than a bag of chips still. Absolute bargain. So I'm going to put the link in.
Cheaper than it was for me to go and visit the trichologist, I'll tell you that much.
Mate.
I'll tell you that much. All right, guys.
Go through Sunday roll call. Who is in the house with us today? Roll up, roll up. I know the time has changed, so please, if you know somebody that watches us on a Sunday, let them know that we are on live now. We have Cher in the house. Sora is with us. Yvonne is in the house as well. Dominican 32 is in the house. Ria is in the house with us. Blindly Fabulous is in the house as well. And hello to everybody that is watching us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yo, we're multi-streaming, guys. We're here, there, and everywhere. Wherever you take your social media pleasures, we are there for you. And also, I didn't forget my disclaimer, our disclaimer. These are just our opinions. We are not experts. This is the ultimate auntie WhatsApp group, a cooler one, but it's still like that. If you want actuals and factuals, ask TLC, Google, or phone a friend. And any links we share are for you to dig deep and do your own research. Please do your own research. We're just sharing the news as we see it, but do your research. Please. Thank you. What's up with the screen? The sheriffess says, what's up with the screen? What's happening? What are you seeing? Tell us quickly before we get into it so we can fix any kind of technical issues.
Sheriffs, you are currently on the mobile version because that's what it's showing me. If you want to be watching us on your TV or on a laptop, you just need to click on the other link on the channel and that will take you to the landscape view. But you are currently on portrait view. I can see that.
Okie dokie. There you go. Easily resolved. All right. Let's get into news and nonsense. Let's get into the culture. We'll see what the culture and celebs are getting up to. There's a lot going on. Starting with, this has incensed me to all insensitals. Award-winning rapper Nicki Minaj has publicly supported President Donald Trump's claim that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. Speaking at a United States-backed event, she said churches were being burned and families torn apart simply because of how they pray. Analysts and Nigerian officials say the situation is far more complex, with violence carried out by armed groups affecting Muslims, Christians, and those of no faith alike. So here's, let me line up. Did you hear about this?
Yes. I have watched the video. Mate, I don't know. I don't know what she's thinking of, but there's many theories. So let's discuss if we think this is propaganda or powerful.
Oh God, there's that. Is it powerful? Oh, it's very split, but here we go.
Minaj addressed the United Nations today, calling for urgent action in Nigeria, repeating President Trump's concerns of persecution of Christians there.
Alan Devlin spoke to a political expert from the region who says the situation is a bit more complicated.
Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides. Global rap superstar Nicki Minaj addressed the UN Tuesday, speaking out against the ongoing alleged Christian persecution crisis in Nigeria.
Churches have been burned, families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear.
Earlier this month, President Trump threatened to stop all aid to Nigeria and instructed the Pentagon to prepare for possible action in the West African country, accusing the Nigerian government of allegedly failing to rein in the persecution of Christians. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians, the president wrote on Truth Social, warning the Nigerian government better move fast. While neither side is denying the death toll the decades-old Nigerian conflict has caused within the country's borders, the Nigerian government has aggressively denied Christians are being targeted specifically. This is a belief shared with Brooklyn College professor of political science and African studies, Majubaulu Ulufonke Okome, a Christian from Nigeria herself.
If any Nigerians are being kidnapped, abducted, killed in genocidal numbers, we all should be alarmed.
Nicki Minaj's decision to side with the Trump administration has some members of her fan base choosing sides as well, the rapper facing backlash online.
For a lot of Barbs, they're saying that this is their last straw.
Some, like former Nicki Minaj fan Monique Sampson, say Tuesday's stance missed the mark.
She has been silent on multiple injustices that are happening under this current administration.
Oh my God, true Barb from day one.
While many others say speaking out in favor of the safety of others has no political alignment.
This is how you use your power. This is how you use your influence.
Minaj, recognizing the criticism Tuesday, responded to her fan base with this.
This isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice.
Alan Devlin, CBS News, New York.
What do you think? Go on, what do you think?
I truly believe that Nicki Minaj is up to something. Like, I think it could be, the theory is out there that it's for her husband to get pardoned. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens within the next year. It could be for a bag, because there has been lots of rumors that her money isn't quite as straight as she makes it out to be. So there's something else afoot, but I am thoroughly disgusted that she hasn't spoken on Congo, Sudan, Palestine, Taiwan. She hasn't spoken about any of the other atrocities that are going up in Chicago. She hasn't spoken about ICE raids, nothing. But for some reason, you want to co-sign Donald Trump on Nigeria. Nah, I don't believe it for a second.
No, me neither. I was triply, quarterly, quadruply pissed off. I was so annoyed. I don't know why it hit me so much that she spoke out. I mean, her shenanigans with Cardi B and how she talks out, I was less incensed because she's always been that, in quotes, bitchy, mean girl type woman. So that as much as, like I said, it was just all nonsense and noise, and Cardi, everyone needs just to back off when she gets on her rants. We don't know if they're drug induced. We don't know if they're mental health induced. We don't know if that's just her character. But this, for some reason, tipped me over the edge. I literally want to never see her again. I don't want to hear from her. I don't want to hear her music. I can't take her seriously. And I just think it's such a dangerous position to align yourself with someone who is literally out for his best interest. And at the moment, if you take a step back, you can see the political moves that when it comes to the Western Africa, the way they're declaring things, the way they're instigating in the wars, the way that they're starting to turn sanctions up or on or off in so that they can put in more US military bases, have more sanctions, more inroads, more claws into the resources of Africa. What's going on in Congo? What's all the things that's happening? And as you said, this is what she wants to stand up and talk about. And as everyone has said, it's not that actually whoever's doing it, whether it's Boko Haram or whoever, they actually don't just target Christians. They're targeting anyone they can get hold of. I'm moving on to another story in a second. It's not targeted to one specific demographic. And the fact that this is a narrative and this is a thing that she's aligning with. I've never even seen Nicki Minaj go to church. So what are you talking about? I've never even seen her go to church.
I was like, Nicki Minaj is a Christian? I mean, you know how I always say it's like, well, most of the musicians, when they get an award, that's when they start talking about God. But I didn't see Nicki Minaj as like a Christian out here really being like, I am a Christian, I'm going to speak up for the Christians in any way. I think it's actually appalling, even just if you truly are like, the UN is like, actually, we want to have more people speaking about this and illuminating it. What about Nigerians? There are prominent Nigerians that should have been speaking in UN who would have had more nuance to the conversation. wheeling out Nicki Minaj to me just feels so baseless. But the comment sections are pissing me off because I don't know if it's bops or barbs. I have no idea, because she addresses the barbs during the speech as well. And she is like, barbs, I'm here for you and I love you and support me and da-da-da. But the comments are filled with people being like, thank you so much, Nicki, for speaking on this. What the hell?
And that's the thing, because on the Breakfast Club, I think obviously it was a story, and Charlemagne, between Lauren, Charlemagne, and Envy, they were like, they're different algorithms, different timelines. So Charlemagne's like, all I've seen is people cussing Nicki. Lauren, and Envy were like, they've seen a mixed bag of supporters and naysayers. But I saw a lot of like, yay, Nicki, speak up for us. And I'm over here from Nigeria. Thank you for speaking on us Christians. But it's turned into Christian propaganda rather than actually, because if you really knew what was going on, and if you really, you would understand that this is not just about Christian targeting. And yes, you could be in your bubble of religion and think, well, it's just us being persecuted. But it's like, what's going on with all the religious wars? It's you're all puppets for the rich people's game. That is literally what it is. Boko Haram, whoever's doing it. Let me stop saying Boko Haram. I don't even know who's doing it, because sometimes they use the name of Hamas, Boko Haram. What's the other one? Al Qaeda. They use all these big title terrorist names to scare us. But behind it and underneath it, you're going to find a Westerner or someone from the UAE that's just stoking the flames of dissent. And that's all usually what's happening. So I don't want to use that term lightly, but at the end of the day, no one's even claimed any of this. I don't know.
I think definitely they are a part of it. Boko Haram are a part of it, but there's other faction groups, and we always have to go back to who is that is providing them with the arms, because again, factories are not in Nigeria. So Trump saying we are going to go in and putting the Pentagon on like notice, like we're going to go in and it's going to be swift, beautiful and precise. It is like, what type of language is that? So you want to devastate the country further. That isn't about peace. And her co-signing it, I am just disgusted with her. There's just no way around it. As Will Smith says, Nicki Minaj, who was dating Safari, would never do this. Nicki has been problematic, really, hasn't she?
That's a lot. I mean, as we always ask if this is news and nonsense, I absolutely think this is nonsense. She is nonsense. She needs to get the hell out. Listen, you need a nonsense badge. Maybe we need to have like a nonsense sign. This is a nonsense move from Nicki Minaj. Absolutely ridiculous.
Minaj is the worst. What is this? I think African man, because I can't tell which way that is. Well, what I will say is religion is a big deal in Nigeria political scene. Nigeria's government has shown a great deal of favoritism towards the Muslim and northern population. George says, I really hate that outside influence and intervention is always promoted for African and Caribbean countries. Exactly. And why ain't Nicki out here talking about the US bombing fishermen?
That's the part in the Caribbean that your heritage is from. Speak on that.
What's going on in Trinidad? There's stuff to talk on properly. But you're going to be talking about Christians being persecuted in Nigeria when the Christians are saying it's not that. Actually, there is various forms of ethnic cleansings going on and stealing of land that isn't along religious lines. Nigerians are saying that, but here she is with a big platform talking.
And this is what happens when you get someone who's not politically aligned, doesn't understand the game. I mean, someone mentioned Farrell. I'm going to give you a heads up warning. Farrell is definitely our enemy of the week next week. So we'll deal with that. We'll save that for that. But this is when you get people. And I don't want to, I'm not going to, okay. My little bit on Farrell, I don't want to get distracted by it. But my little bit is that you're a singer and now a fashion atelier, whatever the hell. Your stance on, I'm not about politics. Actually, you could actually have left it at that and don't say anything else. Nicki Minaj, you are not an expert on this. You don't have the time. You're not newsread. You never get involved. Even Cardi B tries during election time to do something. If you really want to keep that buck, like Cardi, at the very least, tries to get in the conversation and she's honest about what she doesn't know. She hears and I'm not saying that it's better or I'm not pitting you two against each other, but just coincidentally, Nicki, I mean, when Cardi gets involved in politics, she seems to be genuinely interested and open to learning. Nicki, what you could have done is gone on live. Bob's Radio, whatever the hell you have, whatever your radio station is called, and have a conversation like, guys, this is what I'm hearing before I go and speak to the UN, or they invited me, what should I do? Even be honest with your people and have a conversation, because it is about, yes, using your platform. We do expect our favorite celebrities to use their platform for good, but also be very honest about what you don't fucking know, and don't go in there thinking that you, without understanding that you're being a puppet. Know what you're doing. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was saying it's very sad. So we have African Man saying there was a program referred to called Operation Safe Corridor, which saw captured terrorists granted the ability to repent to Allah and avoid any prison time. Are you saying this is what's going on in Nigeria?
I mean, but this is the that's not just what you're saying, African Man, is not just is not for us to debate, because I don't know enough about it. So that's your experience, and that's what you know. That's good to know, bring to the table. But that's not what Nicki. I bet Nicki doesn't even know that, because she could. How long was her speech anyway? Was it an hour? How long was it? 5 minutes? I've only seen 5 minutes. So you said that one for 5 minutes. What did you bring to the table? You could have said. You could have actually used examples. I've heard this thing, that Operation Safe Corridor. You could have used that. You didn't. You just get this kind of pop light conversation like we are the world, and it's embarrassing and dangerous. But to not just to bring it back to actually what is going on more recently. This is yesterday. More than 300 school children were kidnapped in Nigeria from a Catholic boarding school in Niger State. It's the second mass abduction in a single week. Students aged 8 to 10 and 12 teachers were taken from St. Mary's School early on Friday. Sorry, not yesterday, with the number rising after a full head count by the Christian Association of Nigeria. Now, if not to even just like reduce or undermine what's happened, but it's interesting how many stories now we're going to see with the title Christian School in Nigeria and all that stuff that we'll start to see. But anyway, let's get into this.
Desperate parents rushed to their children's school after it became the latest target in Nigeria's spate of mass abduction attacks. More than 300 pupils from St. Mary's primary and secondary schools, nearly half the students, were taken when gunmen arrived on more than 60 motorcycles. The Catholic diocese that runs the school denies the state government's assertion that it was told to close before the attack. Now the state governor is ordering a blanket closure.
These incidents will have been avoided. However, it's not a time for blame game. Our mission today is to see how we can rescue these children and all those that have been kidnapped in that incident. The stakeholders today have decided to close all schools in Niger State.
This week has seen a wave of attack. On Monday, armed men stormed a mainly Muslim girls' school in northwest Kebbi State, seizing 25 students. And another gang abducted 64 people, including women and children, from their homes in Zamfara State. The next day, 2 people were killed and 38 abducted at the Christ Apostolic Church in central Kwara State. And yesterday, the attack on St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State, in which 315 students and teachers were reported captured. The Christ Apostolic Church's own live stream caught the moment of Tuesday's attack in the middle of a service. Members of the congregation hiding and fleeing before the gunmen enter, searching for potential captives and looting whatever was left in the panic. The upsurge in these attacks has sparked comparison with the events of 2014, when the Islamist armed group Boko Haram kidnapped 276 teenage schoolgirls from their classrooms in northeastern Chibok. Their plight sparking an international campaign to bring back our girls. President Trump insisting the recent attacks on Christians are the work of radical Islamists, threatening to withdraw aid to Nigeria or worse.
May very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities.
He's been joined in his campaign by the U.S. rapper Nicki Minaj, speaking at the UN on Tuesday.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed.
But many in Nigeria, not least its government, point to a more complicated reality. One of the schools targeted this week taught mainly Muslim pupils. Analysts ascribe much of the violence to criminal as well as jihadist gangs seeking ransom and protection money. And so more closure orders are being issued. This just one school in northern Kaduna State where parents were told to collect their daughters today.
They have to let children go for their safety. Their life is important than their education as far as now is concerned.
Uncertainty for parents, uncertainty for the government as it scrambles to head off US threats of sanctions and military action while contending with a growing security crisis.
I mean, even that report basically illustrates our point that you saw that basically various people have been under this terrorism. Exactly. It's not a Christian nor a Muslim thing. This is like really
it's criminality.
Well, what this terrorism is, and the United States calling Nigeria like a hellhole or a sham of a country, or we're gonna come in and deal with this. Is that what you guys did in Afghanistan? Like, no African should truly be sitting anywhere talking about we need the United States to come into our country and help us, because they don't do it. And we have countless amounts of evidence to prove that there is no help. They will just come in and pillage and leave you, and they may leave you in a worse state. They were in Afghanistan for 20 years. There are people there now who are being far worse oppressed than when they first came in there.
Yeah.
Like, come now, let's use our heads. Like, do some critical thinking. Who is coming to help you? It really isn't Nigeria. It isn't the Americans.
And it's not Nicki Minaj. It's literally not someone who raps and that's it. And it's never, and it's, as Sikenzi said, Nicki looked uncomfortable herself. It's just all, it's performative. It's performative. There's no passion. You're reading from, and yes, I'm not saying don't read from a script, but there's no passion. There's no, it's no reality to what you're saying. Because if you really were that bothered, are you really up at night? Are you out there? Are you an activist? When was the last time I saw you on any march? Come on now, this is ridiculous.
It's like all the people to pull out though, to speak for Nigeria. Having Nicki Minaj, I just think is the craziest. I don't even know what pantomime we are currently dwelling in at this moment in time. I'm like, wow, I don't know.
It's mad. Anne Onyenibar says, members and the government keeps covering what is going on. I don't know what that woman called Nicki Minaj, but whoever she is, God will bless her for speaking. No, God will be like, don't be a puppet. I'm afraid.
People have been speaking about Nigeria. Like, I hate it when people go on like, oh, because Nicki managed to get on a UN stage. The UN is a sham itself as well. It's a whole different story. But this is giving light to this. People have been talking about what's been going on in Nigeria. We've had the NSARS, there's been protests. Nigerian youth have been out here protesting time and time again. You don't need military force from the USA. That is what you don't need to destabilize a country, because they know it's like by 2070 or something, like it was a crazy stat for the amount of youth that are going to be in Nigeria, turns Nigeria into a next superpower. So you know, they know this is happening with how the world is going. You see, there are so many businesses that are putting their sights into Nigeria because, you know, basically Nigeria is going to be the next world's engine. You don't need America coming in there to destabilize that
at all and have their claws in it. Going back to what Georgie said, there needs to be a wider conversation about how people in Western countries who are descendants of the diaspora overspeak and patronize the voices of people back home instead of promote them. Because even when we speak, we're like, sometimes we have to remember that we're not wherever we are. Even when we speak about stuff in America, when we speak about stuff in our home countries, whether it's Africa or the Caribbean, we have to be mindful that we are not necessarily in that situation. We can react as descendants of or relations of, but not being on the ground. That's why we're saying our perspective is this from the UK. But I don't live in Nigeria and I'm not of Nigerian heritage to know any other stories than what I see out here. But what I can confidently say that Nicki Minaj shouldn't be speaking on this.
No, it should have been a Nigerian.
She should not be.
It needed to be a Nigerian. It's like, and she doesn't talk on anything else. And there are lots of things happening in the Caribbean that she would legitimately be able to, I would be like, okay, cool, talk on that. But at this moment in time, she is a Trump puppet. I don't know why she's moved in that direction, but Nicki has very dodgy people around her, and her husband I feel like she's trying to get him pardoned so that he's able to travel with her. And that's always been a thing for her. Like that whole thing around her husband's case, and even trying to get the woman that accused him of the assault to drop the charges and all of that stuff. I'm like, nah, this woman is trying to get in there with Trump because Trump doesn't care about pedophiles. So he probably would pardon him.
And only anyone comes back and says evil thrives because of good people like you who keep quiet in the face of evil. Those two black women calling her out, she has more empathy than you both. Okay, you must be a troll because you definitely don't watch this show.
Nicki is
the answer, and you said you don't know who Nicki Minaj is. So go and Google her and come back to the chat. Go take it out an hour. We'll be here for about an hour or two. Go and do some research, Anne. Come back and then see how you feel. Google everything, you know. Google everything about Nicki Minaj. Come back. Google everything.
Do your Googles.
I beg, please, because then, hey, who are we with our news and nonsense and our aunties can have a main show? Who are we? We don't know nothing. We empathize with all evil dictators, of sure. African Nigerians calling for America. Excuse me, are just tired of burying their loved ones. They're desperate for anyone to step in at this point. I feel bad for them, but I understand America can't be trusted. Yeah, it is that, and it's definitely the propaganda machine that has worked very well for the West to be looked upon as saviors, because that's how they've marketed themselves. That's the propaganda around them. And yes, let's not underestimate the problems we have back home in our home countries. Yes, we know that law and order in the way we view it through the Western lens is not the same back home. We have, you know, I don't know how you would get away with coming to any boarding school in the UK and coming to kidnap 300 students, like the body and faculty. I don't know how that would happen. It could happen, but in a way that this could happen and no, they might never be found. It's not the same. So yes, we know that certain African countries have a big problem, but that doesn't mean to say that the West are any better, because the West might come with their resources and their way of doing things. But at what extent, as Nana said, what do they leave behind? They rarely go into. Please list one country that the West has said they're coming to help and that is stable and running self-sufficiently today. Give me one, because I don't know.
I would love to hear of one place, just one success story. I don't think there is one. It would be successful to them, because success to them is being able to mine the place to death and leave you. Like, they don't care about the people. Trump standing up there like he cares a jot about any black bodies anywhere is laughable. And that people would be listening like, oh my God, yeah, for real. This is, he is caring about us because we're Christians. Please. Like, again, like, where are we? Like, what is going on in the world?
Wait, so African Man says, I can only say Japan, Germany, and Saudi Arabia, but I have to go through the history extensively as countries that have survived after invasion.
I mean, Japan, I think is really interesting. I've been learning a lot more about Japanese history. I think all I would say is, because there's so much to go into with how Japan, it was a superpower and has actually done a lot to various different East Asian countries and ethnicities. Please look into actually how people have been, like, truly the historyscape of it than what they have taught us in schools. It is very different. Like, no, and that is a conflict. Like, that's all. I'm not saying they didn't go into Japan and save anybody. Like, this is very different. Or that we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about they've decided, oh, there is an atrocity going on here. We need to help that country. Give one where that has happened and there has been a good resolve. Like, they truly did go in and help.
Yeah, because I was going to say, just on my base, because I'm history and me, not great friends, but Japan, Germany, and Saudi Arabia, that wasn't them going to save. That was war. That was defending themselves and defending the world in that respect. So, sure. But it's not the same thing as a country reaching out their hand for help. And it's the exchange. It's, yeah, we'll come and save you, but we're also going to put our tentacles, or we're going to pretend and enhance your terrorist situation and to hide what we really want to do in the country. That's the part that you can't trust. And I'm not saying that if we had a trustworthy Western government, I wouldn't even, I'd be like, yeah, come and Because there are some things that you can bring and like, okay, save the day. We need some help because then also the other thing is you lot fuck these countries so badly. You absolutely come and sort them out because you left them like this anyway. This is why we left it all this kind of rot in some sense. But it just doesn't come without a price and a detrimental price to the country receiving their help. That's the problem.
And more often than not, they are the ones that are in there and have created the schism and given the so-called terrorist side the arms. Like, they play everybody, both sides. That they're constantly playing. There is no Avengers. It's literally they are doing it all. So I understand the thing of, look, we want help from somewhere. I absolutely understand that. But sometimes I feel like this Earth school that we're on is just teaching us that the help don't come from anywhere else but ourselves. Like there's nobody coming to save us. It's not Trump. It's not Putin. They're not here to save anybody. They're just here to mine what they can get from folks. They don't care about humans. They don't care about who dies, who lives. As long as them and their clan are fine. That's it. So we can't go to them for help because they're not the help. They literally are the cure and the curse. So why are we even dealing with them? They're not here to help us.
Anne says, we don't care if the American government takes everything from us and keeps our family and friends alive. To think, what have we Nigerians benefited from Nigerian other than killing each other? Look, like I said, I'm not there on the ground, and I can imagine whether you're in Gaza, in Palestine, if you're wherever you are, and every day you wake up, just thankful you made it through the night, through the next 5 minutes, because everything is bombing, everything is killing, everything is raping, anything is happening in your world on a day-to-day basis. I can understand the desperation. I can. So it's, yes, I mean, from my privileged space, maybe there's only so much I can say. But on the flip side, maybe I can't even say but on the flip side, I can just say I understand what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I understand because I don't live in that type of world. I don't live in that type of world. And I can imagine I'd rather be maybe having to, deal with some Western power taking my resources than having to face my family being killed and bombed every day. I understand that. But from this privileged position, we also have got the wider lens and can see the wider lens of this doesn't bode well in the end. And it just instigates more, and you'll be back into that cycle again, especially countries that are prone to war and battle. Those countries tend to default to that anyway, regardless of Western intervention, because that's what's been instilled generationally and spiritually. So then you're forever in that cycle, even if the West intervene for a little bit. When they get bored and they pull out, like they did in Afghanistan, and left the people to disarray, they're still mash up. And now even more now, they're under the Taliban rule, where women can't do a thing.
It's like, let's listen. Sometimes it's not even worth the full-on discussion of, because there's just too many examples. There's too many, as we had said before to Anne. Please Google, go and do your Googles. Read a book or two. Like, honestly, they are not the saviors. And even sometimes we got to get past the immediacy of anything and think about the long-term ramifications when you start supporting factions that are colonialists. Actually, you give up your resources to these people and they will take it. Like, let's try and think past that and not be like, actually, immediately these are the ones, because their time is coming to an end and they are literally trying to hold on for dear life for power. Let's try not to give it to them.
Just to get some history clarification for those who do know, I don't know. Germany benefited from a Marshall Plan funding after World War II. They got 13 billion in funding the USA to rebuild back. They might have done, but again, they're white. We're all now, the diaspora is asking for reparations all now for what they did to destabilize Africa.
Now
we have not had that billion, nothing. Black people have not Africa, not the Caribbean. So remember that after they've done that, there's white people, and then there's a community of Jewish people.
Like,
after the Holocaust, rightly so. They got their reparations. Rightly so, they got their compensation, but Africans and Caribbeans did not. and still have not. And when we're talking about it, they're talking about, well, we might misuse it, misuse the funds. Let's look at that comparison, please. All right.
But he's putting Israel in here, but yeah, okay.
And African people says, guys, I'm not saying America is good. I'm well aware of the history. Trust me. I'm just giving you perspective of people on the ground. And we respect that. That's like I said, we have to respect that because I'm not on the ground. I'm very safe here for now. So I understand that too. Moving on, this is a bit more shocking than anything. So I don't know if you lot know Andrew Wilson. He's a Christian conservative podcaster and host of The Crucible. And I think it's not old, but an interview that happened maybe earlier in the year went viral after a heated debate on the Whatever podcast with a guest named Charlie, a self-described staunch feminist. The argument exploded when Charlie mocked Wilson's wife and challenged the values he promotes, triggering an aggressive profanity-filled reaction that spread widely online. So basically, Andrew Wilson's all about trad wives, Christian moral behavior, blah, 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 blah. And he had a little bit of a meltdown when some things about his wife were exposed. So give me a second and I'll line it up.
Okay. Yeah, Andrew is quite known in the, let's say, it is still red pill territory. It's still around in that area. But he definitely will always go against anybody left-leaning. He's always talking about, liberalism and the radical left and he has those tones to him, like get married, get a good wife, That's his rhetoric when he's arguing with people.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what happened.
I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think, honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So, Andrew, can I tell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you you lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say? Dyke?
Your wife with the 3 baby
I'm sorry, dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try to...
your hatred against...
Do the women that you try
convince them
to...
that they shouldn't...
Charlie, did I bring...
Women? Do they know
Charlie,
that
did I bring your family?
5 years older?
Did I bring any of your family into anything? Did I say anything about your family being stupid, Charlie? It's because I'm better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed. And you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit because you are not a traditional man.
Chuck, let's go through it.
You are not a traditional man.
Let's go through it, Chuck. Tell me what I'm doing which is immoral.
So then Charlie just come back and explain because she wanted to just clarify something and just quickly get into that. It was wild.
And has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Hi, so that's me in the video. I am the sniz licker, the snizzler, if you will. This video is making the rounds again on Instagram and Twitter, so I just wanted to clarify a few things. I don't take any issue with Andrew Wilson's wife having 3 baby daddies and having been married multiple times before. I don't think it's immoral. I'm a feminist. What I do take issue with is the fact that Andrew Wilson built his platform off of shaming and humiliating women for their past sexual conduct. If Andrew Wilson met a woman like his wife with 3 baby daddies on the Whatever podcast, he would shame her, call her a hoe, and tell her she's damaged goods and essentially unlovable, like he's done to many women before in the past. What I want people to take away from this clip is not that Andrew Wilson is a cuck or that Rachel Wilson is a hoe. I want people to understand that they are hypocrites. And that if you're going to marry a woman with a past, then you should give other women the same grace that you give your wife. Let he who is without sin be the first to throw a stone. Or whatever Jesus said. I don't know. I'm not the staunch Christian Andrew Wilson claims himself to be.
I was like...
that is the truth of the matter. And I've watched him go in, especially when they're younger women as well. He's... I mean, you saw he's an arsehole, but he can get that aggressive quite quickly with women. And I've not seen him do the same with men. And generally, he will go straight to shaming, which is what most of the red pillars do anyway. But that your wife isn't like the traditional. basically you are her third marriage. Like she's got kids with other men, is not what they tell men to do. And he doesn't use himself an example as like, I fell in love with this woman, but ideally that's not how he talks. So bringing up that you're spouting this shit to men, talking about traditionally this is how you should be with somebody, and you're not even in a traditional marriage yourself, you're a hypocrite. She ain't cussing you broad, but yeah, she's got other baby daddies.
But that's the point of red pillars. Like in general, when you get down to the core of who they are, like I would go about with all of them. You meet the woman that you love, it's going to go out the window. You're stealing yourself. You're pretending that you don't love. You're pretending that you don't feel emotions. And usually because you were hurt or you saw something in the family home that triggered you, and now you've gone on this tirade of madness, and now you hate women. And it's just this continuous lie that you tell yourself and other people. And that's where I'm more angry. This is what we know from the show Adolescence, to loads of other things that have happened, from the Andrew Tates of the world to the, what's his name, who's passed away, everyone's king. Derek.
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels. Yeah, Kevin Samuels. All these people who preach to you guys one thing, but in the home, Kevin Samuels, wasn't he laying with a whole heap of single women and all sorts of stuff? Where did he end up? You know,
he
how did he end
next to a stranger? He had just met her.
Right. And all the things you're preaching, and then you guys are taking that as gospel. And then when they show their underneath their truth, you're like, you need to pivot again and have to kind of dead your mind to the fact that actually, how about working on yourself and understanding love is beautiful, women are fine, just understand and communicate and just work on yourself. Anyway, I was just such a stupid clip that I saw. I was like, whoa, he was triggered.
Yes, very, very much so. I watched him in another clip. There was a jubilee that was like 20 liberals against conservatives. It was supposed to be like that, but it was supposed to be like an all-stars. And he was saying the liberals chickened out because they didn't ask him to do it. And the girl was like, dude, you're just not good enough to be on the all-star panel. Triggered. I'm like, what happened to like facts over feelings and being able to control emotion?
Blindly Fabulous seems to blame Charlie, whatever her name is. I think it's Charlie, wasn't it? Enemy Charlie. But then also she could have brought it up without using the term baby daddy. It's just the messy way she approached it that led to the crash out. By the way, I don't know this guy at all. No.
What's wrong with saying baby?
Daddy, he called her a bunch of things because she said baby dad. What triggered was the fact that she exposed his truth. It's not the word use of the word baby daddy. His missus has got 3 exes and 3 different partners of children. That's standard in our world, but we're not Christian nationalists of judging people. He's a Christian nationalist who cusses out women for any type of behavior, normal women behavior.
She could have said your wife has been married twice before. She has 3 different fathers for her children. He still would have gone nuts. You saying baby daddy, nah, that's not it, really. That's not. We know what he was triggered by, the exposure of it, because he knew this is absolutely gonna get clipped. He knew this, and he was losing his shit in real time, and we all got to see it.
Yeah.
What he should have done is just been like so, but he couldn't because he has shame. He has shame about it himself. He knows that when he's sitting there, he's just chatting shit all day long. He's on a grift. He knows it. Yeah. But most of them do. They know that they're grifting. They know that they don't live the life that they are telling people. The same as the other one, No Fugazi, who was out here telling people like, you don't want to be with a baby mother. And he uses those terms. Lo and behold, he's out here. He's with a girl that has a child. It's like they just chat shit.
It's just not real. It's smoke and mirrors. And yes, Fresh and Fit. I don't know his guy. Ignore whatever Myron's getting onto, but apparently he's got multiple kids and all that type of stuff. Whatever the hell's.
Oh, Myron's in Egypt. Myron just keeps on sucking up to racists, and then they cut him and call him a nigger. He's like such an ass. I don't understand how these people even get followings. They're so dumb.
Let's clean the timeline with a little bit of nonsense. I just saw this clip. I think it's just doing the rounds again. So basically, a white woman does white woman tears after comparing her black co-host to a gorilla. It happened in 2019, but it's resurfaced. I was like, okay. I just wanted to laugh at this woman and her foolishness. And this is how it happened. It's just so rude. You just know where it's going, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
Imagine being a reporter and you're on live TV with your colleague, and your colleague says this.
And check out this cute video that the OKC Zoo just posted.
Okay, you have to see this. This is Finn. We're about to show. Oh my goodness, take a look at him. He's a resident of the Oklahoma City Zoo, and this week the zoo's ape caretaker took over their Instagram, and we are all loving that they did. And as you can see, Finn was fascinated.
Definitely ready for his close-up there.
Kind of looks like you. Kind of looks like you.
And this is her apology.
Because I want to apologize, not only to my coworker, Jason, but to our entire community. I said something yesterday that was inconsiderate, it was inappropriate, and I hurt people. And I want you to know, I understand how much I hurt you out there and how much I hurt you. I love you so much, and you have been one of my best friends for the past year and a half, and I would never do anything on purpose to hurt you. And I love our community, and I want you all to know, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for what I said. I know it was wrong, and I am so sorry.
Imagine being...
Now, I don't know the fallout because this was 2019. I didn't bother to see the research, but in itself, I've been your best friend for a year and a half. Guess your colleague, man.
No, I feel like together. Even if you cry at the end, or like you get all your words out and then you end with a cry, but you can't cry the whole way through it. Holding his arm, like unhand him. Like, what's going on?
Cher says she was sentenced to 12 months racial sensitivity training.
He was
I don't know what type of guy he is, because you know, like, he could have been an apologist, who knows? I don't know his background, but it's in the clip. It's the way he looks at her hand on his arm and looks up. It's like, girl, if he's a real one, he's thinking, girl, you don't get your fucking hand on my fucking arm.
Exactly. Like, he needed to move his arm. Just say your apology and keep it moving. About you got to hold on to me, flipping arsehole. I'm glad he didn't interrupt her, because I was getting ready to be annoyed at him if he interrupted her with, like, you know, it's like,
yeah, it's okay. You're my best friend.
Silently let her get it all out, but don't try and. That's also emotional blackmail. Like, you've been my best friend for a year and a half. Did I say that?
It's the fact that I thought you were going to say, yeah, 12 years. You've been my best, a year and a half, as long as you've had your job. Oh gosh, that's triggered me asthma. But anyway, just wanted a little light relief there. Okay, moving on. So our one of our football legends, Ian Wright, has said people are not ready for a black superstar like Jude Bellingham. The former England striker Ian Wright says some people in the media are not ready for a black superstar after the criticism aimed at Jude Bellingham following his reaction to being substituted during England's World Cup qualifying win over Albania. Wright argues that backlash against Bellingham reflects deeper issues about how outspoken black players are treated in football. And Bellingham's been facing scrutiny. So let me line this clip up.
Yeah. I'm glad he spoke on it as well, because that's you need like an elder sometimes being like, look, nothing ain't changed and I can spot what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm glad he spoke on it.
All right, let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's get some silence out of this.
The Premier League, he kept him away from the journalists. They can't get to him through his club, like through Real Madrid, so they can try and like taint the way Real Madrid's thinking and say, yeah, we're going to keep him in line and that. They cannot get to this guy, and this is somebody who is very much an achiever. He goes out, he's a winner, he wants to do it, he wins. What they said about Jude not celebrating that, it was complete fabrication, a lie. So what they're trying to build something, because England have qualified so easy. They've not conceded any goals. They've won all the games easy. So they need to have something else to pile on top of the narrative. You know something, I remember saying, I had to do something for GQ not long ago, and I said, I don't think as Englishmen, there's certain Englishmen, I'm an Englishman, I can't hide from that. Even though when I was younger, people say, yeah, but you're not really English, right? Yeah, I'm English. I don't think they're ready for a black superstar like that who can move like Jude's moving. You know, they can't touch him, like I just said. He goes out there, he performs, he does what he does. He says, who else? It's too uppity for these people. Something that they used to say back in the day. If you're a black guy or a black man who's, you know what, I put it in a football term. So everybody, they love N'Golo Kante. He's a humble black man, gets on with what he's doing. I'm not saying that he's an Uncle Tom or anything, just saying that's how his personality is. But if you get a Pogba or a Bellingham and you get that kind of energy, that does not sit well with the people, that kind of person. So someone like Jude, for some reason, frightens these people because of his capability and the inspiration he can give. It's something that you're taught when you're, as a black man, when you're going out there, you just want to try and do the best you can and keep your head down and be, for want of a better, humble slave. This is where this is dragging up from that kind of energy. Because if you are outspoken black and doing that kind of, playing to that kind of level and not caring, that frightens certain people. And that's what's going to happen with you. This guy who I'm telling you about in respects of he's obsessed with him. He's moving off of that energy. He can't look and see a black man doing what Jude's doing and think that that's not uppity. He's not an uppity. That's where I'm going with that. That's where that comes down to.
It's the truth. Yeah. He said all the things. It's the absolute truth. That is, and he would know what that energy is. We've all witnessed it. We see how you can't play it the right way when you're black in certain spaces. There will be somebody that will leave, even if you think of just even helping. Like you can't help because then it's like you're getting above your station. You can't spend your money. There's always something where they want to sun you and regulate what you are. And they just like a yes massa, head down, black dude. That can be applauded. But if somebody has opinions, a little bit of spunk, a little bit of flair, is looking like the people are after them, the press will absolutely chop off their legs. Absolutely. They will go after them. He's spot on.
Yeah. I can't really say anything more to that. It's literally, and black footballers in the UK, I mean, black sportsmen and women all the time. Even look, we showed that clip of the security guard or whatever the hell he was, police officer, who nudged the NFL player like just because they celebrated their win. And there's something about black people, joy, celebration, and confidence that triggers some white folks, and especially those in power who feel like they're in control. And we know the sporting system is literally like it is like a slave contract. Even down to like how you've got to behave. And look, I'm not against discipline, because you have to. It's a team sport. You do have to have some sort of herd mentality, because there's something about the power of the game and teamwork and moving the team forward. If you take this thing that seriously, there's something. I don't mind boundaries in behavior, but when someone is pissed off, they're humans. They're not robots. And I'm sorry for anyone who loves sport. It's just a fucking game. I know there's importance. I know that there's catharsis. I know there's something in camaraderie and community when we're watching sports and things like that. But it is a damn game, and these people are human beings. So let's not act like they can't have reactions to things and be pissed off and vocalize certain things. Yeah, I'm pissed off and being passed over. I don't understand all of that. None of that. I don't barely know who Jude Bellingham is. But what Ian Wright, a legend who's been in this game for years and has experiences upon experiences, he's speaking the truth. I can't argue that. Georgie had something to say about Ian that she says is a bit controversial. She said, or they say, he was able to read the media so right about their agenda, but couldn't see through it when Annie said what she said and had her words twisted, helped hand and over to far right Twitter. So that conversation, we had some conversation about too, about how that was handled. I mean, broken clocks. You can't be right all the time. I think I erred on the side of Annie when it came to that situation. That doesn't mean to say what he's saying right now is wrong either. But there's, and also not every footballer speaks up when it's as detrimental to them as they can. I think Ian has always been outspoken. I can't remember.
Ian has generally spoken up, which is why even at the time with Annie, I didn't know of her properly then. Like all I knew of her was as a broadcaster, women's football. I didn't know that Annie definitely has more hate against her in lots of different ways. I didn't know that. So in being able to see the rhetoric, how whenever she says anything, there are so many men that go against her. I don't know why this woman triggers people in the way that she does, but there is something. They go against her. And I feel that Ian's response, it embodied a bit of that, a bit of the tide of any again, that type of, and being able to cut her off the way that he did. There seems to be quite a few men that sit in that pocket of let's not have any talking. Now, I don't know if she's just an outspoken woman. I don't know if she said things that are wrong, that people are just like, we're never giving her a chance again. I err on the side of she probably talks the thing and they don't like that, because when a black woman is out here speaking her mind, there are lots of men that do not like that at all. And I feel like it was so easily rectified for bringing Ian into the conversation, which she didn't even do. That was the presenter that mentioned his name. She just responded to the question. It just felt like, nah, Ian, you're jumping on this bandwagon of get any out of here. You're jumping on that, definitely. So he was wrong, but he can be wrong and he can be right sometimes. But what he did to Annie, I would stand on that. That situation there, that was wrong. But she gets crazy amounts of hate.
Yeah, she gets beyond. She gets that extra level of hate, which, it's everything you just said. But back on this, I mean, lots of people in the comments are like, they think Ian was right, she was wrong. It was, to me, as we spoke about it on Aunties, it's like I didn't like the way he was like, I don't forgive her. When you know, regardless of anything, not regardless of anything, but what she said wasn't as bad and didn't warrant that, especially when you know that the world is piling on her. And especially in this space where people do jump on a black woman. And your favorited uncle, sports legend in the UK, we've got few and far between. So unfortunately, the responsibility is on you to be a bit more mindful of how you talk on people, especially when she's left out to the wolves. It is what it is. And there has been some conversation about actually it didn't quite go like that. And behind the scenes of, and again, this is allegedly behind the scenes of Ian speaking about how much he put her on. There's some dispute to how much he put her on. So there's that level of everyone saying, oh, he put her on and he did all this for her. And it's been rumors that it wasn't that. But then everyone also has different understanding of how much they help people. Do you know what I mean? So there's all of that. It's all speculation. Anyway.
So people are adding a little bit more context. George C says, Annie was the female footballer who spoke out about racism in the football camp. She's been blackballed ever since. And Will Smith says, Annie Aloku has a long history of calling out why she perceives as problematic behavior. There's a whole history from her time playing in England and complaining about the coach at the time. Okay. So again, I thought it must be that she is spoken out against something, but the amount of hate that she gets and that she has to get, like, litigious about it, I feel like he jumped on that. He knows she's not liked. She's an easy one to dismiss, and he did that. And I hate that for her. Really, that's what happened.
I want to see if I can find the interview just because we're on it, and see if I can find what was actually said. What was the interview? Where?
It was a women's hour. I can't remember the month that it was. Flucci says, nah, Annie was wrong about Ian Wright had done for women's football is mad. She came for him for no reason. Again, she didn't. At the time we did go through it, and I did actually listen to the whole conversation that she had. She didn't bring up Ian Wright. The woman, the presenter, brought it up to her, leading with, do you feel that the men in the space should actually, vacate so that the women can lead in this area? People like Ian Wright. She didn't say his name. She just responded to the question. So she didn't bring it up from nowhere. It's actually out of order to say that. That is not what happened.
All right, let's see. I don't know what
facing the sack from ITV after her comments about Ian Wright. She said Wright and other male pundits are blocking females from getting roles in football media, but fans have fired back, pointing to Ian Wright's long-standing support of the women's game. He's even personally helped players like Kaylee McDonald during her ACL recovery, costing £1,700 a month. Aluko's comments have divided opinion, but is it a fair point or is it unfair criticism? Any Aluko is...
Yeah. Well, there we go.
You are a woman broadcasting in UK sport, women's football in the United States as well. You're very well placed to answer this, as like Eni Aluko, you're a former England international as well. What did you make about her comments and how they've been reported?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, last night my phone didn't stop going off because everybody was messaging me about it. And then, I read it. And I think when you actually read the article that was written and you listen to that, it's not as bad as it's being made out, if I'm being honest. I don't think she's saying anything that a lot of people don't already feel. I think the fact that it's Ian Wright has been made to believe it's almost like an attack, and she wasn't attacking Ian Wright. She was just saying that men need to, I can't speak for any, but I've spoken to her, and she's just saying maybe men need to be aware of the opportunities they're taking away from other women. And I think the way I look at it, it's like Eni can have her opinion of how she feels. I don't necessarily disagree with what Eni's saying, and I think she's been asked that question, but I think the way that the media have come after her, they're acting like she said Ian Wright's the worst person in the world, and then there's all these stories about Ian Wright today, which Wright is a good friend of mine. I love him. I think what he's done for the women's game has been amazing, and he will continue to do so. And I just think today there's been all these other stories about Wrighty paying for a player at Stoke's ACL surgery, which is incredible. But Eni wasn't discrediting Ian Wright. She was just expressing that, for example, England women's games, you got Karen Carney on there and you've got Ian Wright. Maybe he is chosen because he is Ian Wright. Maybe he's chosen because he's one of the best pundits. I don't know. I don't work for his employers, so I can't say what I'm saying. But I understand what she's saying based upon the fact that, we've worked for so many years to be in our own space, but then are we hypocritical to then say men can't come into our space because I think he's the best person for the job? But Ian Wright is one of the main pundits for England women, and is that something that is a problem? I don't know. To me, I think all he's ever done is been an advocate for the women's game, but I do think what Eni has said has been completely blown out of proportion. And I'm sure Ian Wright, when he hopefully, because I know them both really well, and I hope that when Ian Wright has listened to that, I don't think he'd receive it in the way that it's being perceived. And we know these things can be sensationalized where there's going to be headlines, and I don't know what you think, but I didn't read between the lines. She's not saying, I don't like Ian Wright, he shouldn't be in the women's game.
I think it was reported as a scathing attack on Ian Wright, which it didn't feel like it was.
We can go, and that's it. And that's where I stand. And I think,
I feel like Ian Wright helped blow this out of proportion.
Yeah.
And
reaction.
It weren't because of that. Now, he may have his real legitimate issues with Eni behind the scene. He may do. I don't know. But at that moment in time, he threw her under the bus. And no one can't be any different. He did.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's that on that. Moving on to another sports person. Excuse me, who's in trouble. Stefan Diggs, who's now welcomed a baby with Cardi B, has been accused of sexual battery by an influencer just days after his I don't know what their situation is. His girlfriend has given birth. The new controversy surrounds Stefan Diggs. He's an NFL star after a social media influencer accused him of drugging and sexually assaulting him just days after they had welcomed the baby. As I said, the accusation served in a countersuit filed in Maryland, deepening a long-running dispute between Diggs and the influencer, who says he was hired to help design and promote the football player's fashion brand. Stefan Diggs has filed a defamation lawsuit against the influencer Chris Blake, and then Chris Blake has countersued. There's not much articles or news stories on this, but there is a very interesting video from the influencer talking. It's all wild. I think the world is actually in the handbasket, as I said, but it's just a lot of nonsense going on out here. Here we go.
Attempted to have me unalived because of him making a sexual pass at me. It wasn't the sexual pass that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after it, when in reality, even though I was drugged, even though I was violated, I never thought that the next step would be my life being threatened because you got turned down. But it's that power complex of wanting what you want when you want it, feeling like you own the things that you pay.
Him, I guess, allegedly making a pass at you.
Right.
Like, how did that go?
We used to do dumb things like when we went to the strip club, we would take the jelly beans, swap the bag out. You put them in the Skittles. He's offering me candy. I'm really thinking it's on something like, man, you trying to play with me? No, I don't want to do that, because we've done it before. And now it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Man, give me a piece. So he gives me a piece of the candy. And what happened to me after that was not what would have occurred if I ate Hershey's. I'll tell you that.
What do you think it was?
I mean, from the side effects of what I felt, I would say maybe in the realm of like ecstasy infused.
So you were aroused.
I was definitely sexually stimulated in ways that I had never been sexually stimulated before. My skin was sensitive to the touch. My eyes are blue. My pupils were so big, my eyes looked black. And I really couldn't explain why I felt that way. My sex drive was through the roof. I'm trying to really pinpoint, what did I do? Shortly thereafter, we ended up in the car, 2-seater Porsche, just us. And I said it to say it's not a lot of space. He's talking to me about all the girls that he got in the house. Now, mind you, I was just at the house earlier, so it is a boatload of girls at the house. It's Spanish.
But he only left with you.
He left with me. But at the house, it might be 20 girls.
And you said they were all Spanish?
Spanish girls that barely even spoke English. I don't know if you're shipping them in, shipping them out. I don't know. I can't speak. I don't know. So he pulls this thing out and just starts doing his thing. And as he's doing his thing, I'm like, yo, bro, settle down. Like, what the fuck? You that horny? Like, you can't get yourself together till you get in the house. And as he's touching on himself and feeling on himself and like talking through what he's about to do when he walk in the house and how pretty much basically saying how horny and sexually stimulated he is in like street lingo. Pulls his man out, starts to play with himself. And I'm telling him, yo, bro, keep your composure. I'm trying to laugh it off because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you put that up? Like, what are you doing? And he reach over to me like, man, come on. And he got his thing in his hand. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And he trying to like laugh, and I put that shit up. And he put it up. We get out the car. As we're walking, it's very uncomfortable to talk about. As we're walking toward the door, he put his arm around me and he said, man, come to my room. And he put his, put his tongue in my ear, like doing some weird shit. Walk into the house, spiral staircase leads directly to his bedroom. He goes up the staircase, I make a right. It's a very long hallway. I speed walk down this hallway, damn near run down this hallway, but not like I'm running for my life. I'm trying to keep things low. I go to the bathroom, I'm trying to process my way out. How the fuck do I get out of here? Clearly, this is an overstepping boundary. I've never seen him in this light before, but I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, you just gonna have to go out here and fight your way out if you have to. He called me a perfect beard bitch one time. He like, you perfect beard bitch, some shit like that. He would compliment me all the time.
What did he say?
He put his hands on my shoulder one time as I was getting dressed and said, you know, you're the muse for this collection. You know, you're my muse for this collection. I'm thinking to myself, I never really heard a man say that to a man. Anytime I ever thought about a woman in the realm of a muse, even with Kanye, and he's had his whatever, he always referenced a muse as like Kim Kardashian or even Bianca Sensory. I don't know why the fuck he's saying it to me. Meanwhile, it's girls in the room that's like trying on clothes as well, but he talking about I'm the muse. I don't know. He called me a perfect beard bitch one time. He looked,
sorry, I didn't actually mean to close it by mistake. But it's perfect beard bitch got me. But anyway.
I don't believe him for a second. There's just something, the story, no, I'm not believing it. There was nothing about him. I was like, I believe this dude. It sounded fantastical and probably not accurate. I don't know.
Do you know all I want is for Cardi B to hopefully next time around have better choices in partner. Because I know we spoke about it before. And there was a lot of like, look, she's got money, she can do what she wants. But this is nonsense to me. This controversy that she's surrounded by, just giving birth, it is nonsense. And you've gone from out of the, frying pan into the fire with partners. Because Offset's causing havoc. Now has got a baby that's allegedly his. This controversy going on. Because even though it's not an old story, it's happening, it's still happening. Because there's So it's not old as in, yes, this happened, but it's still going on now. This is latest news. So it's like you've just had a baby, you've just extrapolated yourself from one nonsense dude, now you've got another. And I wasn't for this, well, she's got money, doesn't matter who she chooses. It does matter who she chooses. Money is not the answer to making better choices for yourself and for your children. I am afraid.
I agree with everything. I mean, the guy is messy. This is the thing. It's not like this all couldn't have happened. He could be that freaky. He's basically had 3 children within the space of a year. And she added herself into that with a new baby Blossom as well. Isn't Blossom just one? Like maybe she's 15 months old or something. And a divorce that still hasn't been finalized. And you're going on tour.
Too much.
I don't know. There's something. My heart at the moment now, it's like I can't see Cardi's face. Like it makes my heart beat really fast. I just feel there's a level of exploitation that I don't know how she's powering through it, but I'm waiting for the crash, because how can one woman really hold on to all of this and still be sane?
Yeah.
And the manager is Lou Taylor, who absolutely loves an artist with a crash out into a conservatorship and takes their money. And it just, I really worry for Cardi. This is like the perfect recipe for a breakdown. Like kids back to back will do that to you anyway. It's very stressful. Let alone you've got 2 other ones. That's like 4 children that you're looking after, and then you've released an album and you're gonna go on a tour, and you got to deal with other baby mothers and your ex and a new baby father. Like, come on, this is wild. This is a crazy situation for anybody to be in. Like, who would go on tour with all of this that's going on? You've got a baby, you're pregnant, you're releasing an album. Who, unless you're a sicko management team, is going to be like, you know what? And we're going to do a tour straight after you've had this child. That should be like gross negligence for anybody to be like, this is okay. Insurance companies manage anybody to co-sign an artist being like, I'm going to do this. You'd be like, absolutely not. You can't. Your mental health, your physical well-being, your family's well-being.
There's a lot.
No.
And that's the thing, and that's when the narrative about people criticizing her and woman can do what she wants, and it's not about, and it shouldn't be at the expense of a man. I think you've got the men like, well, look at what you've gone for. Now you got. It's not that. It's literally women's sanity and women's protecting women. It's got nothing. It doesn't need to be a gender war conversation. It's literally, where has Cardi come from? Propelled into fame, thrust into the limelight from the reality show. Blew up to be the babe, everyone's favorite. Everyone, and she's lucky that she carries quite a lot of favor with people, just about. And then you're super famous. You're in a super famous relationship. You're just famous and rich all of a sudden. And what did you come from? What lifestyle did you come from? You were on running the roads and you were a stripper. What life were you coming from? That there isn't time, is there, to do like well-being, personal healing, having therapy and all that stuff to prepare you for the world that you're going to be thrust upon. And then you're dealing with this world of social media where everything, and she crashes out all the time. She takes on everybody's responses all the time. There's been so much like, Cardi, come off the internet, come off, don't respond to everything that's going on. She gets it, she feels it. So right now, I cannot imagine how this woman is feeling. You have had 4 children outside of your body now. That the way that I've had 1 child, my mind is looped. So let alone children take your stuff. Women, when people don't understand, you lose because you're giving so much. You're creating life. That life needs to exist, but it takes some stuff with it as it comes out. It's not a joke. She's still young.
Yes,
it's not okay. It's not okay. And Stefan Diggs, he's young because he's not, and he's also probably the same similar thing. You've been thrown into the limelight. Whatever you need to reconcile, if you are battling your sexuality, or even just this thing that when you're a superstar player, sportsman, women are just in abundance. And I'm not even putting all on the men and the young boys, especially, to be responsible for that. There's also predatory women who come in and and what they call it, that player season when all the women flock out to find themselves a baller. All of that exploitation on both sides. And it's got to stop. And I know it won't stop, but Stefan Diggs, he's got a problem too. There's something going on. You're breeding up the place, and I know men are like, "Whoa, you're just spreading my seed," and I've got money to take care of them. It's not that, because now you've got 40-year-old men like Nick Cannon and The Game and Marshawn or whatever, now looking at all the regrets. Now they're like, yeah, you know what? Those decisions that I made weren't right in the first place, but I pretended I was a confident, cocky bad man and I could do what I want with my dick, and now you're regretting it in your late stage life, and then some woman's got to lap that all up and sop up your fucking mess. It's annoying. It's nonsense.
It's actually like, it's not really okay, because his lack of sexual discipline is wild. And that is in the space of a year. You were out here breeding up the place, and then you've entered into a new relationship with a woman who has a baby. You have a baby. You get another woman pregnant, and she's going through a divorce. It's all a mess. Now, money can alleviate some things because you can bring in help and whatever, but the situation of being parents, your setup is crazy. It's fueled with spaces for lots of different types of conflicts, and then you have your careers on top of that. And I think it's you just got to think of your own lives. It's like people that, you know, she was on talking about, look, I can't take a rest because it's like my grandmother never took a rest, and it's like, you don't know what mental health stuff was going on with your grandmother. You ain't got a clue. All you know is she survived that stuff. And she also was just doing it with a family. She didn't have the world's media up in her business.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know that you also will have the mental capacity, and you don't need to do it. There are very different things when you have to do something and what your body can carry you through, as opposed to what they're telling you to do. And that's why I'm like, I don't know, it just hurts each time I watch her, I am like, nah.
Yeah,
this feels exploitative. It feels like you are on a treadmill and they are just going to pimp you out there to make money. And when you break, they will put you into a conservative and they will take your money. It just feels like she is on that trappings. And with the management team that she has, they have done this time and time again. At this moment in time, it's rinse and repeat. I feel for her.
Yeah, I feel for her as well. And even let's throw in the added plastic surgery. It's all mental. You've got mental stuff that you need to resolve. And as Georgie said, exactly as we're saying, we don't treat men's promiscuity and dangerous sexual behavior as mental decline like we do with women. And that's the thing, because it will be celebrated for someone like Stefan. He's 31 years old. He's going to be 32 if the birthday is right on Wiki. He's only 32 years old. You're the father of how many? You're supposed to be controlling the game.
The same when Nick Cannon was going through it, and we could all see Nick Cannon is feeling like he may be dying from lupus. He's got other autoimmune things going on. He had also been then told that he's a narcissist. It's like, you can tell this guy is spiraling out of control. And so it's everybody, the people around him. Why are you sleeping with him without? Everybody is being exploitative in these situations when somebody is being sexually undisciplined. Both sides, they are taking advantage. And then at some point, the person has to gather themselves and look at the chaos that they created.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
crazy. He can say now, I shouldn't have, but you did it, innit? You flipping had like 11 children back to back. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And to think that was okay, and you get caught up and you get encouraged, and you don't have. And when we talk about people holding people accountable and men holding other men accountable, and like saying, this is, you've got to stop this at 1, 2, 3. Everyone's just like, yeah, no, Nick Cannon's the GOAT. Nick Cannon's this. Da 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 da. I'm sure Stefan's, who is telling Stefan, maybe outside of his parents, and where are his parents? If his parents are trying their best, but he's a big man making more money, and that's another thing. When money becomes the rule breaker in your house, the deal breaker in your house, then everyone shuts up because, okay, if we keep quiet, we're going to keep getting our bills paid. This could be that, or it could be falling on deaf ears. But he's surrounded by people that are going to be like, yeah, it's cool what you're doing. It is what it is. It is what it is. Come on, man.
This cat rot says Nicki's husband is a bad decision.
A lot of these, I mean,
it was a bad decision as well. For me, Nicki is a bad picker, but I don't know. She's
yeah, but look, and this is the thing. It's a real thing. We've talked about it, struggle love. Like, if it's not struggle love, especially in my black world, I don't know if it's the same in white communities, Asian communities, whatever. But in the black community, struggle love is more celebrated. It's like you got to go for it and then come out on the other side, then you're a winner. No, it doesn't have to be like that. It does not have to be like that. Honestly, if we have to reject that and eject that bullshit. You don't have to have multiple baby mothers. You don't have to fling your dick about. You don't have to seek comfort in a man. I want a man. I'm not advocating single life or anything like that. I'm just saying that be happy with yourself. Cardi needs time to heal. She needs time to be away from Offset. She needs her own time.
Like jumping into another relationship from a divorce. But I always say anyway, like I don't. Certain situations you could get with somebody and they've just had a newborn, depending, but I would never advise it. And a woman who has just had a child with a dude who she is divorcing is not somebody that you're even there to be like, I'm going to be your boyfriend. Like, what the hell are you talking about? She cannot be over this man. Like, they've gone back and forth. She's got pregnant again in a separation. And then all of a sudden she's going to be ready to commit to another man. No, she needs to heal. She needs time by herself to find out who she is and bring up her children. Not you dicking her down and getting her pregnant again. That is chaos.
It's absolute chaos. It's irresponsible. It's terrible. I mean, and this is not terrible on the life that they've created. We can separate and we can understand what we're saying. And if for some reason it works, God bless both of you. I hope you too do resolve. But he's already not acting like, from what we see, maybe behind the scenes, he's really like, this is it, you're the one. I have little faith, unfortunately. I have little faith. But maybe. I hope that both of them, like, yep, it's you, locked in, we're in this for life. I hope it is that. I just don't have faith.
All right. Will Smith says, but isn't this the point that Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate make in their heavy-handed way? They attack the sexual indiscipline that were criticized. Nick, absolutely not. I don't even. I know you know what Andrew Tate talks about, and I know you know what Jordan Peterson talks about. Let's not be disingenuous. That is not what they say. Andrew Tate is always like, I have as many bitches as I need, and women need to be disciplined by men and told what to do. That's not what we're talking about here.
We know that. The slither of discipline that those red pillars talk about, guys, you've got to be focused, you've got to get on your health, your eating, reading, and stuff like that. That slither can come. You can do all of that, but you don't need to diss women and talk about women need to get back in the kitchen and on their knees as submissive.
I think it's two very different things, and also their rhetoric affects men's mental health because you put men into a box.
Exactly.
And men should be able to be multifaceted and have partners that are in various different ways that fit their lives and come with paths, and you just work it out.
Yeah.
Two different rhetorics. When you are telling people to be one way and that women are basically the undoing of you, come on now. That is not what makes a society. And that's why you have men in a crisis now, is because of the rhetoric of these people that they look up to who have nothing going for them at all. It's a grift. Very different opinion.
And let's throw the disciples of Future in the bin as well.
Oh God. Look at Future's life. Future's life is a mess. And one of his girls was saying, I think it's like 12 children are known, but she feels like there's another 8 more out there that those women are a little bit more quiet, just as long as he pays them, but he probably has over 20 children. 20 broken homes this man has created, and men are listening to him. Like, he is the way.
And Future's to dull your pain and to blind you to the reality of what it is to be in a relationship or to be in life. And I get there's some things where, like, yeah, power through, like I said, like, focus on your money, they fuck these bitches, but that's not true. It's not true. Similarly, I wouldn't listen to women that saying fuck men or down on men. It's not true. Yeah. Humans need companionship in whichever way, and you've got to figure out a way to do it without shitting on each other. Like, for fuck's sake. America First, well done for your comments. You're so intelligent. I don't want you banned yet. Do your worst. Let me see what you got come in. You're a dickhead, first of all. All right, so this is an interesting quick story. It's just, you probably won't know them, they're old, but it's just what they did. So German dancing duo the Kessler twins died at age 89 by joint-assisted suicide. Alan and Ellis Kessler, the legendary twin performers known as Germany's iconic legs of the nation, were found dead in their shared Munich home. Police say the 89-year-old sisters died by joint-assisted suicide, ending a 7-decade career that helped shape European entertainment. But I just thought it was really interesting that that's what they did. Give me a sec.
So they were able to take whatever it was in their homes. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. I guess if you come into the world together, they've left together.
That was literally their point.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of the Kessler twins, the variety entertainment duo composed of identical twin sisters. Alice and Ellen Kessler died by joint-assisted suicide at their home in Germany, both aged 89. The German Society for Human Dying confirmed the news, telling NBC News in a November 17th statement. They had been considering this option for some time. They had been members of the organization for over a year. The organization notes that the sisters engaged in thorough discussions with a lawyer and a doctor before making their decision, and explained that those who, quote, choose this option in Germany must be absolutely clear-headed, meaning free and responsible. A 2020 constitutional court ruling legalizes assisted dying in Germany under special circumstances, where an individual has the right to end their life and seek help from a third party. After representing Germany at the 1959 Eurovision Song Contest, Alice and Ellen made their American TV debut in 1963 before transitioning to star in films, and soon after went on a worldwide tour performing with Hollywood legends Fred Astaire, Frank Sinatra, and Harry Belafonte. Last year, in an interview with an Italian newspaper, the sisters who never married expressed their wish to die together, saying, quote, "Our desire is to go away together on the same day. The idea of one of us going first is very hard to bear." In an interview with CNN, German Society for Human Dying spokesperson Vega Wetzel shares that she is not sure of the exact reason why Alice and Ellen opted for assisted suicide, though she presumes the, quote, decisive factor is likely to have been the desire to die together on a specific date. She adds their desire to die was well considered, long-standing, and free from any psychiatric crisis.
Interesting, right?
I mean, yes, Yvonne, it is a bit creepy, but I guess that's a good old age, 89. Maybe one of their faculties was going a little bit, so you may think actually she could go before me, so let's just go now.
And then possibly having a life like, if you guys have done everything together forever, and I don't know, it's like, because you know what, actually, something that I think about, they didn't say, Sora, whether they are sick or physically or mentally. There's nothing. Stephen saying, I would want to plan it, to be honest. And to be frank, yeah, it's something that do you know, it depends on where you lie when it comes to death. Are you fearful of death? Yeah, I just picked up for you. Are you fearful of death, or are you quite in control and quite at one with the fact that we all got to go sometime? Because I think Stephen's saying that he would want to plan it, and then someone said, were they sick? There's no evidence of them being sick or anything like that. That's not been revealed. They just made the decision. And at 89, as Nana said, they've lived a right life. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, if you're twins and literally your whole career, your whole life, you haven't fallen out or whatever, you've made it work, your whole career, it's been you two. They're never married. They're literally those sisters that live together, do everything together. And being 89, it's that ripe old age, and then be like, that person's not around, what the hell am I going to do? You have a different perspective when you hit a certain age, I think, of death, I guess. And you have a certain, maybe a reality to, like, actually, and it's plus, if you live in a country where it's sanctioned and suicide is allowed, then you have a different, you already are conditioned to have a different mindset to it, rather than being in a space where it's not allowed and it's seen as, it's really frowned upon.
Yeah, What are people saying? I'm thinking on this one.
Maybe they didn't. Cher says maybe they didn't have anyone else and didn't want to be alone. Will Smith said they must have had stories for days. Those two, one of them must have been ill. Stephen says, and you know what some people are like, some are terrified of going on without their significant. Sora says, I thought this act in Germany would only accept people who are sick. And then she said, I'm sure money speaks. Okay, whatever.
There is probably that as well. If you can pay for it. And maybe there is an age where even if you're not particularly sick, they are like, look, if you wanted to end it, we would allow that to take place. I prefer the idea of a society where we can have real discussions about death and when you want it to take place.
Yeah.
And not that it, because I think the idea of suicide mental health is one thing, but the euthanasia is very different. Most people are just like, they don't want to be left in suffering and then waiting for death to come along. They want to have some control over it. I totally understand that. If you are like, look, we've been here for a long time, and if she goes, I'm going to be left here. I didn't get married. I don't have kids. Like, you just be like, I'll prefer to just go alongside her.
Like,
you know, discreetly at when I want to go, and I can have that decision. I actually think that is really humane to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't frown on them for doing it. It's just a mystery. It will be one of those mysteries, especially if they don't leave any explanation as to why. But they've got no one left in their world as well. I don't know who they never had children, they never got married, so there's no kind of dependence. But I don't know about their outside family. I don't know if they had, I guess, cousins.
Yeah. If there was another sibling, even, so maybe there's some niece and nephew somewhere. Like, who knows? Some families, that's not even a thing. They don't. It's just, you know, it's just you guys. And at that age as well, at 89.
It's hard to argue to say
family aren't around you. You may be they may be just the two of them.
Yeah,
in the world, like, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta
go. Let's move it over to some crime. There's a lot of crime going on, and it's with young people. So I'm sure you guys have seen the crazy, not even crazy, the horrific situation with these Chicago teens that beat up a mother and her child. There's a couple of videos that explain the story, so I'm going to try and get through all of them. First and foremost is actually what happened. So let me let me see which video it is. Right, here we go. Okay.
In the meantime, guys, please book the like button.
Yes, please.
In Chicago, police are investigating after a mother and children were attacked by students.
Community members and parents are outraged as the video was posted to social media. Winnie George is in the newsroom with more on the response. Winnie?
Good morning. Well, several people showed up to Orville Bright Public School Tuesday in support of the mother and her children. They are demanding accountability, saying those involved deserve consequences.
Absolutely, just gut-wrenching. It's appalling.
Mayor Brandon Johnson is frustrated after watching this viral social media video. It's caught the attention of those out of state. A Chicago mom, 33-year-old Korshonda Hatter, and her two children were attacked by students in the South Deering neighborhood near Orville Bright School.
We want to make sure that those individuals who are involved in this brutal attack, that there's accountability. But there's also something very disturbing about children carrying out such a violent act. There's clearly a need for some intervention there as well.
It was here Monday afternoon near 106th and South Bensley. A normal walk from home turned chaotic. At one point, Hatter and her kid ended up on the ground.
They were literally waiting the way we walk home just to jump all of us.
So now we waiting.
Just to jump all of us. So I asked my kids to come to the next side of the street with me, so they wouldn't get jumped. So we kept walking. They followed us all the way there, and then they still fought us. They fought my son. They hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair.
Hatter and relatives met with school administrators and city leaders Tuesday morning. CBS says they are working with city departments and agencies to provide support to Hatter and her children. But many parents and community members say bullying seems to be an ongoing issue in the community, and the help that's needed is crucial.
It's been an ongoing thing in this community, and the parents don't take accountability for nothing their kids do. If my kids was out here being messy, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna let it be known.
And right now, CBS has not released any consequences the students involved may face. The mayor's office says there will be increased police presence around the school the rest of the week. Here in the newsroom, Winnie Dorch, WGN.
All right, let me continue.
Crazy as well. Is she pregnant as well?
I don't know about being pregnant. I didn't hear that. I just wanted
She
to.
had a belly. Like as she was walking, it looked like she had a belly.
She's not well. Hold on one second. Let me get to her talking. Here we go.
Her children are still suffering.
My son is he's very devastated. He'll wake up out of him in the middle of his sleep, screaming. He'll scream, "Mommy, are you there?"
Hatter says her 9-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter are traumatized after watching their mom get attacked by a group of kids. In this video, we've blurred the faces of those involved because they're all minors.
It's because I was down on the ground, and he was down on the ground, and he's looking at me screaming like, "Mommy, please help me, help me." I couldn't get up myself. I couldn't do nothing.
She's 6. She has sickle cell. So I guess they seen a little weakness on her because she's, kind of walking a little slow. And they have no right to put their hands on an adult.
That's her partner, Devon Lee, who was at work when the attack happened. Hatter went on to tell me that her son has been bullied for the past 2 years at Orville T. Bright Elementary School because of the way she walks and talks. All of the results of her sickle cell disease. Hatter tried to talk to the school about the bullying, but she says they didn't do anything about it. Yesterday, a large group of parents came to the school to show their support for the mother and to put an end to bullying. The community immediately stepped in and moved her out of South Deering and into an undisclosed location. Hatter says she's pressing charges against the parents of the kids who attacked her. As for her children, they'll be transferred to a different school, and she's looking to get therapy for them. Reporting in the newsroom.
And now I'll move on to this. This is not this one. I'll go to this. I'll go to the girl, one of the girls afterwards. But there's this saying that the kids have actually terrorized the family before, and this is what they do.
We are learning a group of kids who attacked a Chicago mother and her 9-year-old son have been terrorizing another family. Our Sade Gray reports that mob was caught on video in both instances.
Carolyn Sanford says the same group of kids who attacked Hatter and her son brutally attacked her adult son this past summer, leaving him unconscious on the ground for half an hour. She says her son has autism and is an easy target.
Ain't gonna lie, it's hard remembering it.
For 21-year-old Sean Brown, this attack left him with a fuzzy memory, PTSD.
I couldn't get up for a little minute. My head was hurting.
You can see in this video, he's running from a group of kids. The incident happened near the Trumbull Park Homes, a Chicago Housing Authority complex. Brown says he was leaving the grocery store when he made eye contact with a group of kids and started running when he was just steps away from his home. You can see Brown is holding a grocery bag, trying to reason with the kids. Then things escalate. We've stopped the video before the kids pulled him off of the grass and into the street.
At first, I didn't want to put my hands on the kid. He's a kid. Like, come on now. I'm a grown and I'll put my hands on a kid. Like, I might be slow, but I got common sense.
If this video looks eerily similar to what was captured earlier this week, it's not a coincidence. The group of kids attacked Korshonda Hatter and her 9-year-old son. Our analysis shows the two videos were shot by the same child.
They picked with him because they knew he was scared.
Carolyn Sanford says that boy sent the video to her, taunting her. It was all a part, she says, of her family being bullied by the group for months. In one of those incidents, a boy in the video slapped her 10-year-old daughter, Brown's younger sister, at Orville T. Bright Elementary School. The same school several parents demonstrated this past week, calling for an end to bullying.
My daughter didn't want to go to school. These kids never want to stay home. That girl wants to stay home more than anybody.
Even at home, the same group of kids broke her window and kicked in her door last May.
And the ringleaders is crazy because they stay above me. I'm do if I don't, I'm damn if I do. I mean, it ain't no winning here.
Both moms say they have brought complaints to the school with no results. Sanford says she's upset because she warned the school about the kids for months, and she says nothing was done.
Why y'all haven't done nothing a long time ago for this? Again, this been going on. This ain't just started here, and it's not gonna end here.
She contacted us after seeing the viral video. We reached out to CPS. We are waiting for a response, and when we get one, we will post it on our website.
Okay. And then just one of the, you want to react before we go to the next one?
That is crazy. What is the next one?
It's just where now one of the kids and their parent, and then I think it's her mum, saying sorry.
Okay, yeah, play that one.
Let's go to here. Oh, I chose this because I'm trying to get the full video. This is the best kind of version.
She's gonna go outside.
Let's see if people can. It's actually okay if they don't click in, okay? Oh. Okay. It's okay. Okay, so this is an update, y'all. I want y'all to meet Kamira. She is one of the children that was a part of the fight at OT Bike School. We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability. I won't say too much. And please, anyone that decides to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
Okay. My name is Kamira Grant here.
People laughing, boy. Y'all here, boy.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's gonna take a little time.
And I was just being a follower, following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got. And I apologize for everything because I wouldn't want to be in this situation. And I feel bad because
it's okay.
I gotta go through so much.
Yeah.
I wish I would never did what I did.
Do you have anything to say? I think her name is Shauna.
I was a bit people think
Why am I seeing her smile? Anyway, let's. I had a. Look.
Somebody must be whispering a little something. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Some type of charge or whatever the case may be. Say I digress, but y'all got it. Let's get back into it though.
I'm gonna pay for that.
I think everybody, we've all seen the video.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely there.
Yes.
And we're all on the same accord that it was one. I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak. We do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak because she's a child.
Right.
What grade are you in, Kamira?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
A's and B's, and I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team.
Damn, I hate you put yourself in that predicament.
And
damn.
I know I'm a better person than what I was yesterday.
She gonna get it together.
I can make a difference.
You will make a difference, right?
I will make a difference.
Okay. So whoever laughing, whatever that's about, I want y'all to know that this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves.
People laugh
So
like
we want to
hell.
make sure that we check that and that we be present, and that those people that are not on the ground, those people that are scared of our young kids, that we get out here and we touch them, that we let them know that we here, that we got something to say, that we care about them, that they have more resources than they know, and that we are available to them.
And know that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise all these kids. This is not just one person's fight. This all, and I want you to know, Kamara, this is not all on you. You taking your responsibility of the role that you played in this.
Right.
And she know the role that she played in this. And I want y'all to know that this is not the kid that she is, nor will she let the internet turn her into a kid that child gonna try to say she is. So we are cooperating with investigation, or whatever needs to happen will happen.
Yeah, right. Okay. I like this set of people right here. I like them.
And you understand, like, it's okay to be smart. You're smart. You get A's and B's. You're the captain of the cheerleaders team. You was homecoming queen. You don't have to be bad just because you think it's cool. You don't have to do what other people do. Right? This don't define you. I don't know. But this is not your end all be all. You can come back from this.
And you will come back to me.
You will come back to me. And everybody, like, give these parents and these kids, let's give the kids a little grace. Let's get to the bottom of this. This is an issue in our community. This is why the term a village, it takes a village. It's a lot for a parent. I'm not a parent, but it's a lot for a parent. Like, let's let these kids take accountability, but let's not dog these kids. These are kids.
And let's make sure that we explain it to these kids why it's wrong. A lot of these kids are each other influences. And it's so easy to say, oh, they being raised wrong. No, sometimes kids are being raised right. This child, she being raised right. She's being raised correctly. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. So we're not going to try to somehow take ourselves out of the equation.
And also, we can start an initiative. I think we're going to work with Kamara to start maybe a bullying campaign or something to raise more awareness, to let everybody know that this is serious. You know it's serious, and that this not okay. So yeah, and we definitely have.
Well, see, look, I like them. I'm not.
Right, let's move on. Is there more talking?
It's not bigger than the next thing, and this is. It's not of our parents and what they teach us, but what we want to experience on our own. So it don't matter sometimes how you're necessarily being raised. Mistakes do happen. And if you have children yourself and they make a mistake, and I don't care if it's as small or big as the Bible, the Quran, or whatever y'all may read, whatever y'all may worship, one sin is not bigger than the next sin. And this is not Kira condoning anything. This is me holding full accountability for what is going on, and me understanding that this is a child, and that instead of being a part of the problem or talking down on the problem, that I'm gonna become a solution to that problem. And I just urge everybody to do the same. So while you in your neighbor's hoods, if you in South Shore, you in Inglewood, you in Woodline, you in Jeffrey Manor, wherever you at, touch these babies. Let these babies know that you love them. Understand what's going on with them. See how you can make a difference, because you can save somebody's life. And she understands, too, that this very well could have been a totally different situation. Y'all know me. Y'all for sure know Alita. And y'all damn sure know Naima, too. And know that we stepping 100%. So if that was us, it would have been a different situation, as well as her mother. So let's thank God that it wasn't that, because this is still our child. This is still our Black child. This is still our future. And I will hope that if anybody was to make a mistake, that they was able to come on live in front of a bunch of people that can point and have that thumb point back at them but can't hold themselves accountable, that you would commend that from a child. It's adults that can't do that. So Kamara, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
And we love you. And we gonna hold you in accountability with love and with honesty. And we expect that better. Absolutely.
It's not over. You know you owe that lady a debt. You gonna have to make it right with her. Outside of all of this, you got to make it right with that lady and her family.
Yeah.
Because you took the first hit. Regardless of who you was
Oh.
you still did
But I'm glad you
it.
did it.
Whatever you got to do to make this right,
I didn't know that.
try to do it. Okay.
I seen a little
So
boy
we're not
though.
gonna make this long and drawn out. We got y'all. We gonna figure out how to get in the field, anti-bully, beat the bully, and just know that it's some real steppers that's gonna be behind this. Whether it come with girl mentorship, youth mentorship, it's gonna be an answer to the problem. Real solutions, not just problems.
No.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
All right. Here's my thing. Everything that they said, if they mean it, I'm not mad at it. I'm questioning the live. This is the world that we're living in. I question the live straight after it's happened. This is the world we live in. You didn't actually have to go live to say anything, but this is the world that we live in. I don't think, because when everyone was saying, "Oh, the kid was on crying and she was fake smirking," young kids definitely when they're embarrassed and their thing, not everyone's going to be like, "I'd actually rather her not do fake tears if she didn't mean it." I saw the smirk, but I also saw uncomfort, discomfort, and kids. I've got kids when they're in trouble, they're smiling and laughing, but they actually are shitting themselves, scared, and they're upset. So I don't know this girl. I don't know her family. I'm not as incensed. I saw the comments coming up. I'm not as incensed by this video at all. She's done a wrong-un, and I don't how the women around her are speaking. That's exactly the kind of stuff I would be saying to my child. I just wouldn't go on live, not the day after. Maybe it might be a week after when it's like if it's gone too far or there's some need to clarify. But the day after, I think it's too raw, it's too soon, and you're throwing this girl to the wolves. To be fair, because her face is out there when at this point didn't need to be out there. And I do understand about this kind of everyone downing on the child because they are children. I'm not excusing their behavior. It's disgusting behavior, and it's not about. It is about how you're raised and not about how you're raised, because there are people from 2.4 perfect families who have gone crazy. Kids have gone crazy. When you get to school, my mum did not know that I was bunning weed, that I was teething from the shop. She was raising me as best she could. So then to talk about us, especially as black people, saying they're all, fucking hood mums or whatever the case is, or whoever the situation is, I don't agree with that. The only thing I think, and the most thing I disagree with this video is them going live.
I think the village, as the woman said, like it takes a village. The village is shit. That there was not an ounce of wisdom amongst 3 big hardback women to actually like really sit down and think figuratively, how have we got here? How is going on a live and basically being like, we are going to, but you're talking about accountability without any works of accountability. This isn't accountability. That isn't what it is. The girl punched her first. You need to be sitting her down. You need to get all of the instances where she is the bully. Work out, why is my child the bully? This isn't for the village to talk about initiatives. You have a problem on your hands. Either how you're parenting her, what is going on, that she is taking her frustrations out on other people's kids, and you've got a bullying issue. This isn't for us to be waxing lyrical on live. This is for the village to sit down. What are we doing wrong collectively? What is she mirroring? What are we saying? How are we collectively bringing up this girl that she can influence a pack of other kids? Their peer pressure mentality is to go and attack a woman who has sickle cell, and you are bullying her child because the mum walks the child to school slow. You beat up a boy because he is autistic. You have a problem. This isn't for no live needs to be going on. No spectacle. Remember that there's things change when a camera comes on. People change. How you talk. This is for the village to sit down. What are we going to do? The fact that they did this and you put it on live, to me, shows she ain't learning anything. She is a bully. Her mum's probably a bully. Her aunts are probably bullies, and they're able to talk their way out of shit. I hope the authorities do prosecute them properly and prosecute the parents as well.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be fully taken down a peg or two. That mum's chest was way too high for what I saw her daughter doing. Where is the shame? We need shame sometimes. You need to be sitting there like, what? How do we go wrong? You're talking about, oh, but they're just kids. Were they just kids when they were beating up a woman? They weren't acting like kids. Bring them up properly. No cameras needed to be out here. They just need to be prosecuted. Absolutely. That pissed me off so much. Like, that's a disgusting display. None of that was righteous.
Thank you, Dominique and 32, for your contribution. They said, God forbid, guys, but I surrender. I'm going to jail for a bit. My village would have to watch my kids. Fuck Grace. It's all of that. I think everyone's Nana's reaction is absolutely true, on point. I was listening to the words, not the anyway, I said what I said. I agree. They oh, here another one. Thank you, Dane C2. There is real life children off the court. Oh my God, do you remember that film, Children Off the Court?
That's how they were going
on. Yeah, it's hot. And let my calmness not be misconstrued, because I was listening to because I really want to listen, because it is so easy. It's a horrible thing that happened. And let's not forget the woman that was beaten up, who is ill, and not even because of the child. No, not separating what's right or wrong, but you're bullying a child because of their mum's sickness. That's wild. You know, when your mum picks you up from school, so your mum's different, so you're getting targeted. Kids are horrible. And when I say this is not kids' behavior, it is kids' behavior, because their kids can be feral. And when they're in en masse, on pack, there's something that their raw, untapped, uncontrolled sensibilities. This is kids' behavior. This is nasty kids' behavior. It's bad kids' behavior. But this happens a lot. So I don't even think we should say that it's not children's behavior. They are acting like children who are unfettered and have no boundaries.
There's no consequences.
No consequences.
This has been going on for months. Other people are like, there is a pack of kids terrorizing, bullying. The school ain't doing anything. There is no way that you can't tell me that the mum or the aunts or whoever has not heard that this one here has been doing it. Like, you can't. There's a problem. They're attacking people. That's the big crescendos. There would be the small bullying in classes. There is no way that hasn't come through. And I've spoken to parents when you're saying your child is doing this, and how they want to be like, oh, it's not my kid, it's the other ones, but they're hanging around with them. No, your kid. Your kid is doing it too. Like, take it in hand, take some proper responsibility. If you don't know how to parent properly, read something. Go and ask somebody else who is effectively parenting. Tell them this scenario. How would you handle this? That is actually taking accountability. Talking about we're gonna be out in the streets setting up. No, that all seems like you want glory for this. No, real accountability and punishments. Where's the punishment that you're telling us that you're gonna do with her? How is she being punished? You didn't even tell us that. What's the punishment? She's taking accountability. Really? How? By going live.
The live was wild. The live was the worst thing, because, like I said, literally what she was saying, I'm like, okay, fine. If that's true, if that's what all the things you're going to do, have at it. Because I can't dispute the words, some of the words that she was saying, but the action of going live straight after, especially straight after this incident, is just, they said yesterday has happened. You have not had a minute. That girl has not cried enough, hasn't had, I don't believe in corporal punishment. She ain't been punished enough. She shouldn't be there. If there was good intention of this live, if there was, I don't know these women. I don't know what the thought process is of going live, because we are in a community, like I said, we're in a world where going live and answering to things is what people do. So if there was any thought of, okay, actually, this is what we feel like to get ahead of it. I don't, putting your child in line of fire, I think this is damaging as well. And I think outside of all the anger, all this stuff, there is something about, if this child has got issues, vilifying her on and making her right to people to vilify her is not the right thing. She's done a wrongers, and all of them have done a wrongers, a bad thing, and they should get prosecuted. They should get whatever comes to them and suffer the consequences. The next thing is, though, grown folks just like, you're dirty fucking kid, you're this, stomping their feet. Someone say their future's fucked, and people say like that. No, this child needs help. They need to understand the consequence of what their actions are, but they also don't need to be forever held in the space of, you did that and you're forever that, because that's not helpful either. And there is a thing in our way of playing the dozens, as Americans call it, and we just like to cuss each other, and that kind of culture that we have of cussing each other in jokes and bantering, there's a thin line, there's a fine line where kids also, what behaviors are they seeing in the home? What are they seeing in society? There's all these things that contribute to these children thinking that it's okay to go out and attack someone because they are different. Because that's also, what are their insecurities? Why do you see someone's mum, and feel like it's okay to attack them? There are so many things, and obviously that's what they did touch on in this thing. There's so many things with the community. It does take a village. It does take a village. It does take a village. So what have you lot got in place for parents who are suffering these type of things? Because both those mothers said that they went to the school and the school did nothing about it. Is there a school? Is there a family body? Is there, like, you know, some, as they always say, like some of the, it depends on your levels, but some private schools have like this, the parents community. I can't remember what they're called. I'm losing my words. But where they have so much lobbying power to what the school does. Have we got that set up in this community? Is there a body that gets behind students, parents and students who are either being bullied or parents that are suffering in some type of way? Because how is it this school has had 2 complaints from parents and in serious bullying, not little bullying, serious bullying, to the fact that that woman, where she lives, she's been having her door kicked in and her window broken.
And nothing is going on. And you can pinpoint it's these kids. That's to me, school is a failure as well. Everything is. The school is a failure. That's why there were so many parents that came the following days to be like, this is a problem. We've been saying the school has a bullying problem. You know, everything rolls in. Everybody plays their part for a perfect shitstorm, but that woman could have died. And it would have been a pack of children who had been enabled to get so big within themselves to think that we can do whatever we want around here.
Right.
That's the problem. So then you're talking about, remember, she's just a kid. So as an adult, when did you take her into hand to be like, this cannot go on? This isn't something that you, even how I know that they're shit is that you will put a child's face out here on a live to be clipped for various millions of people to see, and we've watched her do a crime.
Yeah.
That you would be like, this is us taking accountability. You're shit.
Yeah.
It's a shit village that erased it. Like, again, nobody has no sense to be like, she's done her wrong-uns, but she's still got to live. She's only in year 8. She's still probably going to be dwelling on this earth for 80 more years. We don't need her image out here as the poster child for feral youths. That nobody had sense to even be like, we don't need to do that. She has a future, but you're going to wax lyrical about it. You're all idiots.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I don't know ages, I don't know upbringing, I don't know any common sense is like, if you thought that this was doing the right thing, because, you know, like, she's a minor, so in theory, her identity would never have been revealed. I don't know what the laws in the different states and stuff like that, but in theory, her identity would never have been revealed. And although we sometimes we want that kind of justice, make sure we know who they are, name and shame. For children, I do believe let's protect them because they've got a life ahead of them. You've now exposed their face by force. That's where I take the most umbrage. It's like you've exposed your child's face for, if you're talking about she's just a child, well, then now you've left her open to be attacked. You lot might have to move.
Like, you know, when you're just like, this is crazy. Ronald just says there were parents at the school who wouldn't go on camera because they were afraid of those children.
Right. And what's happening? That these children are running rampant like this. What is happening? I'm not just going to say that it's bad parenting, because sometimes you're doing the best that you can and your kids are outside doing fuckery. It's and the only time I can say is like, wait, either you know your household is a crazy household, so you know that your kids are gonna come out wild, or you don't know and it hasn't been brought to attention. There's so many levels to this that we can't just assume that all these kids come from dirty homes, broke up homes, and these parents are bad. Even this woman,
as she was saying, she was like, but she is from a good home. She is being parented. She has a village around her. But if your village is a shit show, then you take your cues from that. If your village will have you do shit things and they will explain it away, you don't even know what accountability is. Accountability you is standing up and being like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it next week, and I'm going to stand up again and be like, I'm sorry. What is accountability truly? Like, she's already positioning herself as a leader in some spaces already. So she's probably able to be manipulative. She's probably one of the popular ones. Already, we need to be looking at what her influence is and taking it away. Like, it's like, you can't be the lead cheer. You're a bully.
Not anymore.
Nah, this is wild. This is wild.
Not anymore. You have your privilege taken away from you, but you, yeah. That was wild.
I mean, what kid attacking some? Like her son is there trying to protect his mom.
And her little daughter, they pulled her hair. And I think I saw her, and I don't know if she had a weave in or anything, or they pulled it like off, or they just pulled her little daughter's hair. Like, what the hell? But also that thing when pack mentality, when you lose all common sense and you're just going in and you're not actually thinking about if you pause for a second, think about if that was your mum, your brother, your sibling, if that was you. You don't have that, and you don't have that cognizance to think. You're just lost in the pack mentality. It's crazy what happens. All of you. I don't think they said how many kids it was. Was it 9 of them? Was it 9 kids?
I think it was about 9. I think I do remember that number because they was saying like it was, the number. I mean, in all things, there's so many things to this though. It's outside of a school. I'm like, where are the school teachers? There's so many fractions to this. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I would be livid within that community. Literally, like, nah, like housing even. I don't care because if it's my child, I expect the consequences of them doing this is far more reaching than just education. Because then you become a pariah on the community. So if as a parent within that, I need them removed, totally removed. The housing removed. You within a society, we all have our place that we have to maintain safety for each other. You have removed that. You should be removed totally, and then you have to maybe start somewhere else. But I wouldn't be like, oh, the rehabilitation has to happen on my watch with my child and my safety. No, I'd be like, they gotta go. They gotta go. You've abused your right to be a part of this. This is too much. And your parents have to be punished as well.
Coco said the mother was pregnant. It happened in Chicago. Yeah, it was in Chicago. She was pregnant?
Her belly looked, like, in her it looked like there was something there, like there was a belly, but I don't know. And the way the son was at that area, I was like, was it that she's pregnant? Because he seemed to be quite hell bent on don't touch my mum's belly type thing. But if she was pregnant, man. I mean, I'm sure they would have said it, wouldn't they, in one of the reports.
One says no, she wasn't pregnant. I didn't really see that. I thought she's distorted because of her illness. She's sickle cell, and I don't know how that's affected her body, even more so, and her whole delivery. So I don't know, because that could just end up like mess up her body. It's a health condition that's messing her up and bending her over.
Yeah.
Regardless,
that is
horrible. Well, on to more.
8th grade, isn't that like 12 years old?
How old are you?
Is 8th grade in America like the same as year 8 here, like 12, 13?
You're 12, 13 to 14 years old in America, apparently. Fuck. Regardless, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't want to be like that.
And it's the same boy filming it and sending it around. Like, what's happened?
For me, it's like you're sending it to threaten who? Threaten who? Are you fucking okay?
Imagine like we've done this to your house and then you film it and then you're getting the little runts that did it, sending it to you, kicking down your door. Oh my God. No.
All right, moving on to the UK. A Surrey nursery worker, only 18 years old, has been convicted of raping and sexually abusing children as young as 3. Thomas Wallace carried out the offences whilst nearly qualified to work with young children, and parents only learn the truth when a 3-year-old disclosed abuse in simple terms at home. What's going on with the kids, man?
Something feels like there's a lot going on with them. I know.
Yep.
Correspondent Oliver Whitfield-Mirchich is here with me now. Oliver, this is just appalling. Tell us more about what happened.
Yeah, it truly is. Thomas Waller from Farnham had only just qualified as a nursery worker, having just taken the course at college. It was then where he was working at a nursery in Surrey during the summer months, a nursery that we can't name for legal reasons, and his duties included taking young boys as young as 3 to the toilet and getting them changed whenever that was needed. And the nursery worker told Guildford Crown Court how he was found with a young child in the toilet by himself after lunch one time. Now, after Wale was arrested, his phone was seized, and on that phone, indecent images were found relating to another child at the nursery named Child T. But throughout the questioning by officers from Surrey Police, Wale refused to give any sort of answers.
A download of your phone of this exhibit PE02 has been completed since your last interview. What do you think we found on that phone, Thomas?
No comment.
From the download of this phone, PE02, 5 indecent images of a child have been found. Okay. What can you tell me about this?
No comment.
Were you aware of any indecent images being on your phone, Thomas?
No comment.
Why were they on your phone?
No comment.
Now, Surrey Police say those lack of answers and any sort of accountability continued all the way through the court cases where Wale was described by one of the parents as being calculated for the links and the trust that he built with his victims.
Thomas Wale had multiple opportunities to show remorse or account for his actions, both throughout the police investigation and at court. He has chosen to remain silent. I hope the fact that he's been brought to justice for the crimes that he has committed helps the families affected by his crimes to start to move forward with their lives.
And Matt, as is to be expected, the families in this case have, of course, been deeply affected. One of the parents of one of the boys saying that they should be saying that their child doesn't like carrots at this age instead of saying that their child had been raped. The judge in the case saying that it is heartbreaking that the parents of these boys see themselves as being responsible for what has happened. Now, ultimately, Wale has been sentenced to 15 years at the Young Offenders Institute. 10 of those will be served in custody, with 5 on licence.
What the hell? I don't, but it's numerous kids. So I don't get how his sentence is literally just basically 10 years. How is his license for life?
I also don't understand why he's in a young. What's the age of young offenders before you go to adult prison?
Well, sometimes they do 17, but it's usually like under 18. But there has been some 17-year-olds who they have put in adult prison. What was he, 16?
He's 18.
That's what I don't understand why he's in the young offenders.
Look, I'm 100% for rehabilitation. I'm 100%. I won't move on that. But this seems weird. His sentencing seems weird.
I don't get it. He's 18 years old. He was old enough to have a job in a nursery, so he would have had to have gone through the database thing. Like you would have checked over. He would be CBR checked already. Like he would have had all of that. So
he just graduated. That was his first job, apparently.
So you're an adult. I don't understand why he's going to be in a young offenders for 10 years, and then you're able to be not a life license, a 5-year one, when you have actually raped children. Yes, at DBS. Thank you. I don't understand his sentence at all. And that you can say he showed no remorse. He's so young to be able to have set this up at 18 years old. He is
he's now okay, so he was 17 when he did it. Arrested in 17 when he was 17. He's now 18. Multiple offenses, rape and inciting child. So then sentence him is heartbreaking. The thing is, because how can you have 10 years in a young offender? You can't. You have to. Maybe because that's where he is. He will go when he hits what age? Hold on, what age?
He's 18 now. So surely he should just be going to big man prison properly.
Hold on.
I still think the sentence is light for his crimes. I think that is light for his crimes.
Okay. In the UK, the age at which you go to an adult prison depends on your age and gender. While 18 is the age of legal adulthood, those aged 18 to 20, particularly males, are often initially sent to a young offenders institution instead of an adult prison, moving to an adult facility once they turn 21. All female ages all females aged 18 and over are sent to adult prisons. I wonder why that is.
Interesting.
I wonder why that is.
This is crazy. This actually is
12
really
to 17
crazy.
women sent to STCs, which I've not. What's the acronym of an STC? I don't know what that is. But yeah, women, by just for the thing, girls are 12 to 17 sent to an STC and an 18 sent to an adult prison. I wonder if there's something in that or systems operate. What? No, sorry. Okay. So, yeah.
I don't know what the difference would be. Either way, for his crimes and his lack of remorse, his sentence needed to be harsh. And they know there is enough studies to know about the mindset, the mentality that pedophiles have, and that it increasingly does get worse. Somebody his age doing what he did with his level of manipulation, having him out on road before he's even 30, he could have a 50-year-long career doing this, abusing children. Like, this isn't. If you manage to catch him, he should be punished harshly. Like, sometimes I do. Yeah, no, you can't play around with this stuff. This feels really crazy to give him just 10 years. That feels nuts.
That feels crazy. I don't know what's going on. It's a weird one. I just feel like it's weird. And it's not like prison isn't the right breeding ground to just because there's no such thing as rehabilitation. There's no therapy and help for anyone like this. Anything. So that he's not going to get better in prison. He's going to come out worse.
Well, basically, he's going to be on the nonce unit with other nonces. Look how young he is. They are going to school him better at how to get. He was already, as the parent said, he was already manipulative. So he's just going to get better at it, and he's young. That's crazy work.
Someone's at my door. 1 second.
Okay. I'll get some of your comments, guys. All right, starting off with Dominique Confetti 2. Sadly, the DBS checks are not effective. They simply show that you've never been poor. No, I was just thinking for him to be able to work in a nursery, he would have already gone through checks. So to me, that's like you're an adult now. You're working with children. You're a big person. You should go to big man prison and do hard time as well, proper time. Little Shine saying at the time of the crime he was underage, so that's why he's going to a young offenders. Cher says he doesn't even look 18. The baby face ones are scary. Most definitely, he is scary. He is. And Yvonne says the Southport killer deserved proper jail from the get-go. Yep, definitely as well. Ronald says in Nebraska, anyone 18 or older cannot be housed with minors. It's against the law. I think that should also go with it. Catch My Drift says release the Epstein files. Let's see if that ever happens. Monique Confetti 2 said these predators are so slick, it's sickening. Absolutely. You know what actually hurt more watching, I didn't see him being questioned, is when he's walking to the car with his mum.
Yeah.
I'm not walking with my child after. I cannot. You're not seeing me with that child again. It's not happening. I'm not saying that I will disown them. I may get a couple of letters, but I'm not being in support of them. I cannot.
I don't know what I would do as a pet, but just the fact that you say no comment, I don't know. At that point, I'm like, I don't know, because there's a lot of psychological weirdness that goes on with people like this, and I don't understand. I wouldn't understand. I'd be so devastated as a parent, so embarrassed. So, and it's not about. It wouldn't be about me at that point. It's just like, what the fuck have I created? Where did this come from? Where did I go? Those are one of the things I would blame myself. I'd be like, what the hell? I'd be at a loss.
Listen, you know, Will Smith, you're not even messing about. Will Smith says when he gets out, he'll just disappear. They might even let him out early by mistake or because overcrowded. The country is done.
Yeah,
so many people that they're just releasing by mistake is absolutely insane. Steven says, confused. I continue to confuse. It confuses me how sentences for sexual offense is against minors is still behind the times. It's strange that the law doesn't quite reflect the level of public revulsion, because too many of them get into high positions as well.
Yes,
they
we
know
do.
what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They look after each other.
We do have a sex offender registrar, for what it's worth. It works for some, it doesn't work for others.
Imagine that as well, though. Like, he only got caught because one of the children mentioned something when he was getting washed by his mum. And it's the targeting of that age. They're so young. There are lots of 3-year-olds that don't even have the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, he's gross, man.
No. Moving on. Doreen Lawrence has confronted the Met over spying fears. So Baroness Doreen Lawrence has told the undercover police inquiry she's profoundly troubled by claims that the Met Police may have spied on her family's long fight for justice after the murder of her son, Stephen Lawrence, saying the force treated them like suspects rather than grieving victims. Now, this is not. I was also almost going to leave it off, but when I watched a bit of the video, I was a bit like, these people. It's just never forget, innit? Just never forget who these people are, and these guys are supposed to be investigating what the crime, but you're turning yourself on a family because just to get anything to validate why you lot messed up so badly. So I'll play some of it.
Policing inquiry that she's profoundly troubled that the Metropolitan Police may have spied on her family's long campaign for justice. Baroness Doreen Lawrence said she believes the force viewed them through a lens of suspicion that was not only disrespectful but also dehumanizing. The Met has apologized unreservedly and says it has fully accepted that there were major failures in how the relevant team was managed. Simon Israel reports from the inquiry, and we should warn you, there is some offensive language.
The mother of the murdered teenager, Stephen Lawrence, was the trigger for this marathon public inquiry back in 2014. And yet, Baroness Doreen Lawrence would have to wait 11 years to finally give evidence.
The evidence that I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And to respond to allegations, there'd been a police spy in the family camp during their long campaign for justice in the 90s.
And what we want out of this is to find out the truth of exactly what went on that night. If they're able to put that amount of attention and resources to discredit us as a family, if they put that amount of attention into seeking and to finding Stephen's murderer, we would not be sitting here today.
The most damning claims have come from former undercover officer turned whistleblower, Peter Francis. He spent 4 years in the secret Special Demonstration Squad. Having received a commendation, he went on to win compensation for post-traumatic stress disorder. In 2013, he revealed to a Channel 4 Dispatches documentary of concerted efforts to find dirt on the Lawrence family.
They wanted any intelligence that could have smeared the campaign. Had I, through my circles, come up with something along the lines of the family were political activists, somebody in the family was involved in demonstrations, drug dealers, anything.
In his statement to the inquiry, Peter Francis says of some of those running his unit, including his direct senior officer, I witnessed much more overt racism from certain members of management. HN 86 would refer to the Black Justice campaigns using the term monkeys. At the inquiry today, Baroness Lawrence received an unequivocal apology from a senior Metropolitan Police officer.
I think it's taken them, 20 odd years to admit that this has happened. So if it wasn't for, I think it was probably about 2004, that Peter Francis met up and told us what was happening. Otherwise, we will have no idea. So I presume that is what the apology is for today. But like all apologies, where does it get me? It doesn't get me to the end of where I need to get to.
Man. They're trying to discredit the whistleblower. You've gone on mute.
Sorry, I was sorting out all the videos. Yeah, of course. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they're trying to say that he's he may have some information, but he is also a fantasist as well, is what they're trying to say.
You have to discredit, because at this point, that was a shitty fucking show. And as she said, all that energy you took trying to find a drug dealer in the families, you can say drug dealer families, and discredit. No, just do your fucking job. Even just admit we made a mistake at the beginning, got rid of the bad apples that didn't handle the case, and now we're sorting it out. Just do that. Just do that. All this energy and wasting time why have you got a spy in the fucking family? What's that got to do with anything? The bottom line, her son was murdered.
They did it to I think his name is Lee. So you know the last Brixton riots where they shot, I think that the mother, the son that was there. Yeah. So the son that was there, I think his name is Lee. He was 9 when that happened. He's also been named in this. They had been following the family and him into his 20s. The police had been trying to get dirt on the family for all of those years when you guys shot her. Yeah. So this is what they standardly do. They apparently even with Doreen and Neville when they were breaking up, that news that the officer actually reported it, like before anybody else knew. Like, this is crazy. Disgraceful behavior. I don't think an apology is enough. I feel like they need compensation.
She needs more than compensation. This woman's been between her and Neville tirelessly fighting, and all up to today can't even find the truth of who actually did it, because they're even letting that dickhead speak and say, "Well, I know I want to appeal. I'm not going to tell who did it because I'm scared for my life." No, come on.
No, proper compensation. Like an apology is one thing, but actually there needs to be some type of monetary compensation within this as well. You need to pay.
I will have some nonsense, but there's a couple of, I just have to get through this because there's some mad things I just saw. We'll get to some nonsense to cleanse the palate. But just quickly, sniper tourism in Bosnia resurfaces as US Congresswoman launches investigation. So US Congresswoman has announced a formal investigation into resurfaced allegations that wealthy foreign visitors paid tens of thousands of dollars to shoot civilians during the Bosnian War after new reports from Italy triggered global outrage. I mean, what? Yes, bro. Foreign visitors paid tens of thousands of dollars to shoot civilians during the Bosnian War. Listen.
See, I'm saying they're not humans. That's what's going on. Come on, man.
Listen, look.
More than 11,000 people were killed in the siege of Sarajevo, many of them gunned down in the streets by snipers as the Bosnian army fought back Serbian troops. The city still bears the scars of that period. Except now there are fresh claims, which further suggest it wasn't just military personnel involved in the killings.
In 1993, I became aware of the Sarajevo Safari case upon receiving a statement for analysis from a captured Serbian soldier, a volunteer from Serbia. He testified regarding the presence of foreigners on the battlefield in Sarajevo who, unlike numerous others, were not soldiers but civilians from Western countries. In this particular case, Italy.
The existence of so-called war tourists has come up before. Women and children were allegedly allowed to be killed at a premium, allegedly paid to the Bosnian Serb soldiers who escorted them to their positions in the hills. And not just citizens of Italy, but elsewhere too. Many were laid out in a documentary which aired in 2022.
There was a testimony of a former Marine, John Jordan, who in 2007 testified in The Hague about these people. He was a volunteer firefighter during the war in Sarajevo, and he was helping people on both sides. He did not see anyone shoot, but he saw them coming to and from the positions.
It was this investigation that prompted an Italian journalist to take another look. And it is a complaint and a stack of material submitted by him and the city's former mayor, which has led Italian prosecutors to open a new file on the matter.
I harbor a particular sentiment towards this issue and genuinely wish to believe that the initiated investigation and the case opening in Milan will, in some manner, assist the proceedings underway at the prosecutor's office of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I have faith in justice and institutions, and I hope that after 30 years, we will ultimately hold those responsible accountable.
Some say the claims are disputed. Some say they don't exist at all. For others, it may be an opportunity for justice so long denied. Victoria Innes.
Wow. I've never heard of this. I didn't know that was a thing. But that, again, don't surprise me, but that is wild.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, if we couldn't be any more in the gutter, we're already under the gutter. So this is just another freaking depth of, like, this is a film, this is a movie, this is Hunger Games. And,
Yeah.
and as you said, I'm not surprised, because why the hell wouldn't this is Squid Games. It's Squid Games.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, because a war-torn area, yeah, it is that. You'd be able, from a vantage point, you're going to be able to just watch it play out, people scrambling for their lives, and it's just like, oh gosh, look. I mean, this is happening. This, mate, oh my word.
All right, my last one, just for those who go on holiday, just to be aware. I don't know how you do this, because this is one of my biggest fears. I'm going away soon. So basically, Turkish police are investigating a family of 4 who died in suspected hotel poisoning. A German family of 4 on holiday in Istanbul have died after collapsing from what authorities now believe was chemical poisoning inside their hotel. The Bocek family were initially treated for food poisoning. That's when I first heard it. They went and got street food, and all of them got sick and died. They got discharged and returned hours later with rapidly worsening symptoms. 2 more tourists staying at the same hotel were later hospitalized, prompting police to shift the investigation from street food to pesticide exposure. I'm just going to do that. And yeah.
From the food?
No, it's pesticide.
Officials have arrested at least 8 people after all 4 members of a German-Turkish family fell ill and died last week. Preliminary forensic reports showed they were likely exposed to toxic chemicals at their hotel. The family checked into a hotel on November 9th and sought medical help on November 12th after severe nausea and vomiting. Despite receiving treatment, they felt worse. As seen in this footage, the father called an ambulance, but the hotel entrance doors were locked. It took several minutes for the family to get into the ambulance until the receptionist returned and opened the doors. The 2 children died the next day, followed by their mother a day later, followed by their father after days in intensive care. Our correspondent Dorian Jones is following this story in Istanbul. He gave me this update on the investigation into those hotel deaths.
Well, yes, 8 people have been arrested. Now, we understand that some have been released under judicial control. Among those that have been arrested are people connected to the ownership of the hotel and its running, but also crucially to a pesticide company that carried out pest control in the room below, the room occupied by the Bocek family. Now, initial forensic reports say that the family died from chemical poisoning. Now, crucially, it hasn't said what that chemical was, but all attention is focusing on this pest control company that did carry out fumigation of that hotel. We understand that one of the suspected chemicals that they died from is a chemical that has been connected to using chemical warfare. So it gives an indication of how potentially toxic these chemicals are that have been used in the fumigation of this hotel. All attention is focusing on what happened with this pest control, but we're awaiting further reports from the authorities and the forensic report.
Now, there have been similar cases, Dorian, of pesticide-related incidents in Turkey recently. Do you see a pattern emerging here?
Well, I think that certainly is a concern. And in fact, we have the report that 7 people were hospitalized after the death of the Böcek family in Istanbul following a pest control carried out in the building they were living in. Turkish health authorities in Istanbul have said that it is believed that they fell victim to the pest chemicals that were used. Fortunately, it appears that all those people that were afflicted aren't in life-threatening situation, but it underlines the deep concerns within Istanbul and the whole country over the question of regulation of fumicide and pest control companies. And not only them, but we've had a spate of food poisoning and alcohol poisoning in a number of restaurants across the country, some cases fatal, and it's adding to this fear that regulations aren't being enforced. Now, authorities say there are very strict controls on the regulation of fumigation and hotels and bars, etc. But the key question is over enforcement. Now, in Istanbul, there's a major crackdown going on restaurants, on hotels, on the enforcement of these regulations, as they're aware that there is a national and international concern, given the fact that these people were on holiday, and this will become concerns over Turkey's vital tourism industry. So at the moment, there are big concerns over the regulation, health regulations, on whether it's in hotels or in restaurants and bars.
It's more like holiday, it's Christmas, people are going away, half-term, people going away, just be fucking aware. And I don't know how because that's one of my biggest fears. When you hear stories about carbon monoxide poisoning in hotels, that's fucking scary in itself. Then pesticides, you don't know where the regulations come from, like what pesticide that do they have to fumigate for roaches or rats or whatever. What the hell are you using? Chemical warfare products. And then you've got going out and eating, you just think you're eating anything, and then even if you think you're going to a nice restaurant, it's a bit wild. I don't know how you check when you go on holiday, when you're booking, what you can check for, what questions you can ask about countries that you're going to. Because Turkey's a popular place to go, travel to.
Very, very. I don't know. There's just something about the chemical aspect of it. I was feeling like, what are they testing? Is this a hit? Who are the family? There's just something about it, and I'm not sure. Sometimes they just test out these chemicals on places as well and see how far it can spread, who dies, who gets sick. Like they just test it out. They do it in neighborhoods, so I wouldn't be surprised. This is interesting. All right, keep an eye on that. I don't know how. There's no way for you to test this.
To know. All right, guys, let's get some light. That was hard news today. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. This was funny. I saw this. A man was flown to the wrong country. I don't know how that happened. He was flown by EasyJet to the wrong country.
You sent me to Africa.
Not sent to Africa.
Yes, there's children. I've got children. You sent me to fucking Africa. Who do you think you are?
I mean,
sent me to the wrong fucking continent. You sent me to Africa. You sent me to Africa.
But how?
Yes, there's children. I've got children. You sent me to fucking Africa. Who do you think you are?
Repeated.
Repeated. How did he get on the wrong flight? I don't understand.
No, I don't know why it's there for. Let me see, because you know what? I didn't Google. I was just like, what the hell?
How can it be? Because when you're on the plane, at some point it's gonna be like they're gonna say when you sit down, fly into so you didn't know where you were going. No. If you got on the wrong plane, that's your business. All right. So you've gone through all of the gates, they didn't check you properly, but also it's also your business if you ended up in the wrong country.
That's what I'm saying. The thing is, like, if it was their fault, that's the only time I'm going to be I'll allow a white man to say, fuck you, Africa. Because that's the only time. Because I was triggered.
That's EasyJet. Go to Africa.
No, I don't understand. Maybe it's Morocco or something.
Okay, they may go around.
And he's super racist.
Somebody said it must be AI. I don't know how you end up in the wrong country.
I mean, hold on. A man gets sent on the wrong plane. All I'm seeing I'm just seeing the same thing. Let's see if I can share this tab instead. I'm just seeing the same thing.
Okay. Jim Smith said Morocco.
All right, now there's it's going too far. Accidentally sent a far right activist on the wrong plane. To Rwanda.
No, this is AI. This is jokes.
Yes, there's children. I've got children. You sent me to fucking Africa. Who do you think you are? You sent me to the wrong.
I love how they're sort of in the far right activist now. I don't know who could be. Like, I don't know, man. What happened? Frustrated filmed finding London Stansted after claiming the airline's handling error sending. How the hell? Let's see if anyone's got any answers. No, everyone's just talking about Jet2 holidays. Yeah, there's no answers. I don't know what happened. I don't think it's AI. I think it actually happened, but I just don't know how that mistake happened. Probably his fault or how. But then even still, how did you get through the door? How did you book your ticket? How did the people at the desk?
There's too many points. Your boarding pass. There's so many points that you would go through.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Okay, so since the Michael Jackson trailer has been released, there's been beefing from the Michael Jackson impersonators. Yeah.
Good, y'all. It's your boy Michael Jackson here. I just want to say, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, fanatic, lookalike, tribute, impersonator, influencer, whatever you are, man, I believe that we should all support the Michael Jackson biopic film because at the end of the day, man, it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about my opinion. It's not about who looks the most like Michael Jackson, who sounds the most like Michael Jackson, who dances the most like Michael Jackson between anybody in the community. No, this is about Michael Jackson. The movie is literally being made by his family. Like, we should definitely just pay that respect. It's not about what I think about it. We should be happy that something positive is coming to the community right now. I'm so tired of seeing movies like Leaving Neverland and all these weird documentaries trying to shame Michael Jackson's name. I'm tired of that. So we actually have something positive that's coming that's going to focus on Michael Jackson's legacy, man. And with that, I'm all for it. Let's stop critiquing everything, trying to change it, trying to morph it into something that's going to satisfy our own egos. Come on, man. Let's just have fun with it. It's Gooey, baby, 2084.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit.
I don't understand what's going on, but then Michael Jackson impersonators are beefing.
Embrace the future.
Scary looking. Is he a white man?
That's black man. He must have done plastic to actually look like Michael.
Q, can you lower the lights for me, please?
Okay, but remember, in here, keep those feet still, my man. And embrace the
I
future.
don't understand. They have a community. It's like, how does actual Michael Jackson like whatever. I'm seeing controversies that have never been controverted before. Exactly. Okay, we've had this one.
Oh my God, Michael.
Yeah. Crazy. Because there was a lot of backlash about the trailer. Like, I thought it wasn't too bad. Like, they're not going to get one of the ones where he's got his transitional nose, and they weren't very happy about it. But oh, he's white, and he said, yes, he's white, and he said MJ wasn't black and Catherine is biracial. Listen, you lot, relax.
What is that dude? Yeah, he's talking to a woman, and he's talking about like he's not a black man, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Like, imagine, first of all, a community of Michael Jackson impersonators. There's people that are making livelihood. Okay, I get it. It's your livelihood. So you're really precious about it. But come on, what's the reality? Where are we? What Twilight Zone are we at?
But to remix it now that Michael Jackson was somehow mixed race is actually crazy. But then to be like, he wasn't all black anyway. Like, the guy was straight faced as much as his face could be straight. He's not. He wasn't all black. He's not a black man. He didn't. And then also, Michael didn't make it easy for himself anyway.
No, he didn't. You got a community of people, even your legend, now fighting, beefing, talking about we, the community, need to be supportive of this film because we, the community, oh my gosh. I hope we get auntie impersonators. Like, we, the community of auntie we guys, when we get our Lifetime movie, We support them, and we're going to back them.
Let's not have infighting.
I want my Auntie AK's impersonator to be peace and love. Make sure you understand. If you're going to impersonate me, okay? Peace and love all the time. We, the community. All right, so this woman says oral sex is premature abortions. Here we go.
What they don't understand about oral sex is that oral sex is premature abortion.
I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah, because the seed that they wasted and the eggs that they wasted in masturbation, vibrators, all these other things, they don't even know that they are causing premature abortions.
How would
So how can we multiply except we have penis to vagina sex?
every time you have penis and vagina, you don't multiply. What you can't just lick. What y'all even saying amen to?
We cause reproduction with our lips between your hips.
Amen. Well, I just like that it rhymed.
I tell God, don't give me no serpent's tongue as no husband. Don't allow nobody that's going to put me in a place where they want all sex on me, because baby Jesus is going down at the crib. You're not sucking on me. You're not licking on me. If we can't have fun the right way, we won't have it the wrong way.
I thought that was fun the right way.
And he said, any man that deals with a woman while she is on her menstrual, he said to tell you he's coming. He's going to do something to your sex organ if you don't stop it. He said, I'm going to fix you where you can't have sex no more. He said, you shall not come close to a ministering woman.
A ministering woman or a menstruating woman?
When doing so, all is an abomination in my eyesight. He said, Loretta, before you forget, tell him about the ministering woman. You're not supposed to touch a woman at the time that she's having her menstrual.
What about a little handy?
He said, Loretta, what they don't understand about oral sex.
That's for you.
Oh my God, Loretta.
There we go.
So apparently God is just on the main line to Loretta, just telling her stuff, yeah?
Yeah. There you go. Is that cleanse enough for y'all girls? For you guys?
Oh my God, wowzers.
Oh.
It's the faith, amen.
It is ministral, not menstrual. Ministral.
Basically. A man with a serpent tongue.
Yeah,
wow.
Man. Listen, okay, let me not welcome the devil, but a man with a serpent tongue might have extra skills, because that's like two-pronged attack.
Said they are not allowed near you. If it's not going down in the main town, it can't
Okay, that has been your Auntie's Never. News and nonsense, sorry, I should say. That has been news and nonsense with your Auntie's Good Never. Wow.
Oh, wow. All right, let's say thank you to the folks that gave us some money. And in this time, if anybody else does want to do their Sunday time
on such a brilliant show, because I really thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yes, please do send through your contribution to keeping the lights on. We have Dominican 32. Thank you. And then Dane has given us $2.
Thank you. And thank you for triggering that memory of Children of the Corn. That film's deadly, boy. It used to frighten me. I used to watch it when I was young all the time, but it's still scary. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon.
Yes. Episode will be out. It will premiere at about 6 or 7 o'clock. I will go through the analytics to see what is the best time. So 6 or 7 o'clock, you will have the main show, Your Aunties Could Never, where we have a special with Dreaming Whilst Black cast. It's really, really good. It's
So you've got time to watch it if you haven't. You've got time to catch up on season 2 or season 1 on BBC iPlayer. And I don't know if it's on BBC America. Watch it, Dreaming Whilst Black. And we're going to speak to the guys at 6, as Nana said.
Yes, it was good, man. It's fun.
Stay
Thank
safe out
you,
in the streets. In these news and nonsense streets. Take care.